Welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, a podcast hosted by two gamers for you, the true gamers. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. Bro, how you doing today?
Yeah, good.
Good?
Nothing to report.
Nothing at all?
Nope.
No, just everything's been smooth
Everything's
sailing.
been smooth, except that I and we do a massive apology. We were wrong. Cyberpunk is actually good now.
There you go, that's it. The facts.
Yeah, we said Cyberpunk wasn't ever going to be a good game, and the reality is that they've been pulling in 1 million players a day.
I saw that tweet.
Yeah.
So this is all because
There's nothing else to apologize for.
This is all because oh god. This is all because Edge Runners came out, right? And everyone got now the game and all the subreddits is infested with weebs.
Yes,
and,
the worst kind of people infected the worst game.
Infested. No, a game that was okay, it had some issues. We had some problems. It could have been salvaged. Maybe there was an effort into it. And then they were like, what's the quickest way to revive it? Let's put the most uncultured people in the world in them. Weebs,
Yeah.
there you go. Let's go.
It's really interesting because the fact is Cyberpunk does sort of mostly work now. The big problems are, for us as like the day one adopters, we can never let go of that hurt because the game was just not what we were promised. And it could have been amazing, but they kept the delays. They should have delayed for 2 years instead of 2 months and delaying. But now, and it does still have the same problems. Ultimately, the end story is not really very good. And also the game's kind of empty in the sense that unless you make your own fun, which is what, if you've seen some of these YouTube builds, like the Edge Runners builds, like these guys aren't playing through story missions. They're going and finding like tiger claws and stuff to make their fun. Yeah, they're making their own fun within the game. Unless you do that, there's not much. There's a couple of standouts that are really good, but for the most part, the game is empty outside of the main quests and it's surrounding like main side quests. Outside of that, there's not much. Like, in The Witcher, you could go and find a bunch of like really amazing side content. Same with Red Dead Redemption 2 and Horizon and all that stuff. The game's kind of hollow. However, it does now work. It's not glitchy, at least on current gen and PC. And Edge Runners, which I do recommend that you watch, even though it's a disgusting
Everybody
anime.
has said yes. They're like, despite it being anime, despite it being anime,
Despite
it's good.
It really does capture the essence of the point of Cyberpunk, which is that, like, if you're looking to make a legend, no one outlives their legend, right? It always, like, you played the game, right? So Johnny Silverhand, legend in Night City, dies.
Yeah.
Right? All these other legends. Jackie gets his drink. Where is Jackie, right? Yeah. So there's this, the Night City swallows up everything. That's sort of the underlying current. And it's so good. And that's sort of the attraction to Cyberpunk. It's got me wanting to replay.
Yes.
I don't know if I can bring myself to do it.
I have been planning to go back to it.
Okay.
I've been planning to go back because some people said like we should maybe think about doing a 2-year retrospective. I think it'd be good for the podcast, and I think it'd be good to do maybe a video on it or something like that.
Or like
they suggested it, and I don't mind doing it if you want to do it. But that's the thing. I don't want to force you into playing a game you don't want to play.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing it. I was pretty much set on doing it anyway. And Edge Runners coming out sort of around about the perfect time. It was December when it released with the 2-year anniversary.
Yeah.
I think it might be getting close to that time. Hopefully, and what I need to do is somehow detach the feeling that I got from day one.
Yeah.
To play it again, because that's the only reason why I'm hurt. That's the only reason why I'm hurt. I could see what people are saying when they say it's a good game.
Yeah.
However, I've got all those promises in the back of my head, all of those things they sold us on. That just aren't there, that just aren't as big as they said, and these things that they neglected to mention all the way, and then plus all of those bugs that we got at launch. And it's like,
let me make a recommendation to you. Watch Edge Runners and then go in to the game looking at it from the perspective not of, okay, I remember what it was on day one, but from a perspective of, I want to try and get my own Edge Runners experience, right? I want to like try and recreate my enjoyment of the show in the game. And that's how I think I am going to replay it. I still haven't finished The Last of Us Part 1 because I've been ill and busy. Nothing else has happened.
Did you see what happened to my Last of Us Part 1?
No.
So Tuesday I was going to stream, and I'm like, cool guys, let's get started into Last of Us Part 1. X, cannot start the game.
Oh no. Aha, glitches, it's not just me.
And I'm like, do I turn up? I restarted the console, still doing the same thing. I had to like uninstall it and then re-download it again, and that took forever, and it ended up just turned into an Among Us stream because of that. I'm like, I've started the stream schedule, guys. Everyone tune in for The Last of Us Part 1.
I will say as well, it looks like I'm not going to actually get to play it because my chick saw me playing and was like, oh, this looks like fun. And so I restarted it for her on super easy, and it's frustrating watching her play.
Oh.
So we're gonna try and get her to play it. She saw the intro. Did I tell you this? Did you see my tweet? I was like, I'm newly single. I had to dump my chick. The thing happens at the intro.
I didn't see any of this.
The soldier shoots at Joel and Sarah, and as he shoots, she turns to me and goes, "Oh my god, babe! Does he die here?" Missed the whole thing.
Missed the...
Well, like, she turns around and it's happening, but like all of that, like, you know, drawing you in, gone. And I made a tweet like, "Yeah, I'm single." I had to, you know, good riddance to bad gamers. I said, "Did you see the tweet?" You should find the tweet.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, so it looks like it's going to take a long time for me to finish The Last of Us, even on the easiest difficulty, because she's like still not got looking around properly.
That's painful.
It's tough, but it's, you know, one of my favorite games of all time, so I'd love her to experience it. In the meantime, I think I am going to play Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I do, seriously. It's only 10 episodes. If you skip the intro, you skipped it. But like...
How long is the episode? Is it
about 20 minutes.
Okay, so it's still normal anime.
Yeah, anime length. It is really good. You could binge...
Anime fans and their attention span.
Right,
more
exactly.
than 10 seconds. No.
But also, there's no
if it
filler.
doesn't have a or a booty jiggle, then it's not going to happen.
Exactly. It's only 10 episodes long. So you can probably finish it in a couple of days, just going after it. And then I think with the high of that show, as you're like, if you choose to latch onto that, I think you'll be able to play Cyberpunk much more fairly to how the game is now. Because I'm with you. Like, I can't get rid of those original feelings. Yeah. But I think I'm gonna go in brand new game. Also, because we know where those epic mantis blades are. Oh yeah. So like day one,
straight away, dicing up.
You know what I'm saying? So
you like shish kebab? Yeah.
Right.
The only question I think I'm gonna do it. I'm pretty set on that. I do want to watch Edge Runners. I think I'll do it that way. Watch Edge Runners first, then jump right into the game. The only question is, do I play it on PlayStation so I can get the platinum? Ooh. Or do I play it on PC where I can get the ray tracing and use the card that came out when the fucking game came out?
That's the thing is, I'm like, you should play it on PC because it's going to be the best experience. Obviously, you're playing it correctly with a DS.
With a controller.
With a controller.
How all games should be played.
Exactly. However, I know that you have this sick, disgusting addiction with the trophies. How far away are you from the plat?
See, the first time I played it, I fucked up. There's a point in the thing,
I remember you told
branch,
me this,
and I missed it, and I've locked myself out of the platinum on that save. But if I'm going to start again...
Yeah, I'll tell you as well, despite all the problems in terms of like the game itself, which people cannot seem to pull these two things apart. Story's bad, like Horizon Zero Dawn. Story shit. Actually, that's not true. Aloy shit. Right? But like the game itself, playing it as an experience. Right? It's true. Ghost of Tsushima, the story shit. No, that's not true. The ending shit. You know, it's just not good. I love it to bits. It's an incredible experience. But
I think you're just a harsh critic. I think that's what it is.
It's true. And only really, I'll tell you why I didn't like Cyberpunk. You can have V as a woman.
It's true.
You know?
Do you know what really, speaking of Edge Runners, right? Yeah. I saw, the last thing I'll talk about and then we'll get on with the show. I saw the Metacritic, the Rotten Tomato score come out, 100. Yeah. And I was like...
No, it's probably pretty fair.
I was like,
it's really good.
Sus.
It's really good.
I was like, who's reviewing it? Is it anime reviewers reviewing it? Because if so, they like everything anime, and they're gonna be like, oh, okay.
I'll tell you, I agree with you. I think if it was like more of a Western cartoon, like, you know, something we grew up with, like Batman or Spider-Man, I don't think it would get 100.
Like 20. Done. This isn't even real animation. This is real animation. Go watch My Hero Academia. Go watch One Piece.
Anyone that's like a cartoon, not anime, but like cartoon fan, isn't rating it 100. Anyone that isn't a Blade Runner stan isn't rating it 100. You know what I mean? So like if you're a Blade Runner or an anime guy, you're going to rate it 100 regardless. But it is very, very good. It just happens to be in like an anime style. Yeah. There's a lot of anime.
I saw the
animation
score
tropes.
Though, and it was like 97. I was like,
it's
okay,
very good.
Then I've got a bit more confidence.
Yeah, I don't trust the critics at all.
When have the critics been wrong?
That's a good point. We can trust critics.
They rated that. What was that Olivia Wilde movie with Florence Pugh and stuff like that? 27 on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm telling you, he spat on him. I'm telling you. Anyway, bro.
Before we get into it,
yes.
If you're important to me, or I am or was important to you, and you haven't spoken to me, my DMs are open. But when I said there's nothing more to apologize for, we're settled. If you're watching this and that description fits you, and you're not feeling good, my DMs are open, and that's the best way to get in contact with me. But moving forward, otherwise this is settled. We're good. Outside of Edgerunners, forget Edgerunners. Cyberpunk will never be as bad. No, wait, as good. Never mind. Moving forward.
Yeah.
But I wanted to say that seriously because there are some people that I haven't heard from probably. So, you know, for closure, innit?
Yeah, DM's open there.
Exactly.
Bro.
Yeah.
Speaking of people that, well, I was going to say, speaking about people that we do like speaking to.
You mean people that, let's be honest, I nearly got cancelled and I was looking forward to not have to speak to these guys anymore.
Yeah, these guys. Let's talk about some people that we don't like to speak to. Our super bros over at patreon.com/conbrosations. By the way, you know you spoke about Findom, financial domination. Yeah. I've seen a clip where of a girl on Twitch doing that to Twitch subs. I think it's now invading Twitch. Yes, our bros over at patreon.com/conbrosations who support us at the super bro tier.
That's right.
These legends over here that keep everything going. Thank you so much for your support. It's Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Sabine from Smallville, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling, Catspud the Friendly Patron, Mikey T the Gamer Giant, Super Sus Ben Fryer, the Filthy Thief Fanatic, Joe McCormack Clark, the 53rd, My Juicy Left Nut, the super sexy producer Sean, and Gams Master, the leader of the Empire, the fearless one, the great Lord Vader himself, step cousin, who isn't really related to anyone of importance, but, you know, he likes to get involved, you know.
He likes to get involved.
He likes to just get involved. You know? Thank you guys so much for your support over there. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to seeing so many of you guys on this list tomorrow at fucking EGX.
Yeah.
EGX is right here. I'm so excited to meet all of you guys. So excited to game. So excited to build our own personal little jokes that no one else in the community is going to get. And it's going to be
I'm
hilarious.
just excited to see if EGX is more like EGX.
So I've seen the floor plan.
Okay.
It's more full.
Okay, that's good news.
However,
oh God,
there's no Sony. And
well, we kind of expected no Sony.
Yeah, Sony doesn't come to events anymore. That's the thing. It's a bit shit. I wish they would do showcases as well. But okay.
No. We're just going to drop some God of War stuff in the middle.
We're just going to drop it in a tweet, guys. Don't worry about it.
At 2 a.m.
Fucking idiots. And Microsoft's presence is relegated to specific games that are on Game Pass.
Right.
And I'm like,
there's still some cool stuff.
There's still good games there. And we don't know what Virgin Media last year had the Fall Guys running thing. There's usually that kind of thing every year.
I'm not doing that this time.
It'll be something else this time. Maybe it won't be so physically intensive.
We're
so,
gamers.
We don't run.
We're old and gamers. We're old gamers.
I'm surprised I did that, you know. I mean, I did feel it the next day. But
yeah.
I'm surprised I did it. If there's anything we need to lift, no problem. Fucking do that shit. Yeah,
right.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. They haven't said what that is. All right, bro.
Yes.
Today's topics include GTA 6 has leaked and broken the internet.
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 might be coming out with a brand new PlayStation 5 model with a detachable disc drive.
Why? That feels like...
We'll talk about it. And how the Real Insider Twitter account got exposed to who the person actually is.
Okay.
And it's just a YouTuber.
Right.
Okay, let's kick it off with GTA 6, because that's the thing that people want to watch, people want to talk about.
Yeah.
It's broken the internet.
If we put GTA 6 in the
we get to put it in the title.
Right.
There you go.
It's not clickbait.
Exactly. So GTA 6 broke the internet. The way that this worked is that there's an alleged hacker of a group that was not 100% confirmed. It's all like suspicions and theories, and one person's talking.
No group wants to say, no, we didn't hack that because it looks cool for them.
Exactly. If it's this person, apparently the person who did it is like a 16-year-old boy or something like that.
That's hilarious.
It's fucking hilarious. Prime demographic for GTA, by the way.
Right.
Anyway, he apparently hacked their servers, stole a bunch of footage, stole a bunch of documents, and he claimed that he had the source code for GTA 6.
Okay.
So that's a big thing. Now, he's only released a bunch of videos, and all the videos online are all like very clearly unfinished, unpolished, got like code written on the side and stuff like that. Clearly a lot of details, like arrows pointing in which direction from where like the character's pointing and stuff like that. And it shows very basic layouts of missions and things like that. Yeah. No spoilers, no stories or anything like that, but it also shows the two main protagonists, and it shows that it's in a Vice City setting, which is quite cool.
Do you remember a while ago, maybe there'll be a link up here, I did a video because I'd done some like actual like investigative stuff. I don't remember what I said in the video, but I'd like I feel like I uncovered a bunch of GTA stuff.
You did get the Vice City thing. I remember that.
Yeah, I feel like this feels familiar. Mate, did we get something right?
You might have as well, because
like 2 years early as well.
The videos that were released...
Put a goddamn timestamp on there. Link the video, goddammit.
Link the video. The videos that were released were from 2019. So that lines around about the time when you made that video. It was a while ago.
What?
So,
no way I got something right.
I know. It's crazy. You looked in your crystal ball and you saw it. Now, had you seen any of the clips?
No.
They weren't online for long. But they were everywhere, and it basically just shows that the two main protagonists is like a male and a female. I think that the females, I think they're both Latino, wherever they are, and they're doing their usual stuff, the stuff you do in GTA.
Gangster
One's
stuff,
holding up a restaurant.
Standard.
Quite hilarious because instead of NPCs in the seats, they've put mannequins, I guess for the testing purposes.
Why are you using mannequins in a game? Just loading some NPCs.
It's not like a shooting range in real life where it's like, it'd be dangerous to put a person in.
We're not going to have actors in here.
We can't put an NPC in here. What if he gets shot?
Why is that funny to me? That's so weird.
I feel like imagine that's like an inside joke in all of the devs. They're like, we're going to put...
Right.
They're not really interactable, so what's the point? We're just going to put...
That's so weird.
Anyway, and she like goes in, holds up a restaurant, gives a lot of money and picks it up and stuff like that. It showed a couple of other things as well. One of them, it showed the female protagonist with the way her skirt physics was working. She was like moving back and forward like that. I have to say, it looked incredible. Yeah. And I was like, this is all right, this might work out quite nicely.
That's a very interesting thing, because for all the good things that you can say about GTA, one of the things that you wouldn't say is like it's not the most sophisticated in those little things. Like this isn't going to be like a Horizon Forbidden West where the grass all moves individually, because it's not. Those sorts of things historically haven't been super important for GTA. Right? The things that are important are, can you build ridiculous Hot Wheels maps in the sky and like, obeying traffic laws when you're bored, but otherwise you can do your cheats and pull out a rocket launcher and do you know what I mean? Like, so it doesn't matter how floopy, swooshy. I know words. Skirts are, stuff like that, or like hair physics. You don't really ever care about it because you're looking 30 feet back. Do you know what I mean? So that's an interesting...
And this was in its unfinished, unpolished state. And you could see there was like definitely low resolution textures in certain areas, and like shadows weren't done. And for people that don't know development, you largely turn those things off when you're trying to test something out anyway, just to reduce the load on the computer that you're trying to work with. But yeah, I personally thought that for an early stage, it looked pretty good. And then when they put all their magic and polish on top of it, I think it's going to look even better. Now, there were some people out there who just are uneducated in this department. Where they're like, I don't know what development footage looks like. I'm looking at this.
This looks really crappy.
I was going to say, well, but some people were like, just normally, they were like, oh, this doesn't look that good. And I'm like, cool, you just don't know what you're looking at. No problem.
It's like pre-alpha.
You're not
testing,
a developer. This isn't your job. You're not supposed to know what you're looking at.
Have you seen what movies look like before they do the special effects?
Right.
Not good. Even
However,
Justice League looks like trash before special. Like,
even Justice League, the greatest movie ever.
facts.
However, because GTA is the behemoth that it is,
Yeah.
and because of the audience that it brings, the average age of the audience is pretty low.
14. Yeah.
Yes. So when it went out online, people are like, "Oh, this looks disgusting. It's worse than 2013 GTA 5." And it's like,
How did they go from RDR2 to this? Yeah.
I just can't with you guys. I just can't with you guys anymore.
You know what's really interesting though? I'd seen 2 headlines that caught my attention. One was that the GTA 6 story is shit, but if there were
Story?
well, that's the thing. So like,
I was going to say, no, what?
if there was nothing story related, then how do we know?
Yeah.
So that's interesting, weird. And the other thing is that I'd seen that Rockstar was partnering with the FBI to find the guy.
Yes.
I don't know if that's true, but that's hilarious.
Yes. So here's the thing. The first thing that this guy claimed that he stole all of this footage.
Yeah.
He stole all of these messages. He stole these documents of like voice acting lines and stuff like that, and the source code. The source code is one of the most important things in a game. It's essentially the secret recipe. This is
the DNA. Yeah.
I was saying, this is the analogy that I heard. It's the secret recipe to something really big. So like Coca-Cola, for example, there's a secret recipe, right? And you may be able to get the correct ingredients,
Yes.
and that's one big part of it. But then baking it and how they make
they
it
tell
and
you
put it
the
all together,
ingredients.
exactly. But how putting it together, the stuff they use, the techniques they
processes.
use, is all like a guarded secret.
Fun fact: there are 2 people that know the recipe, and they're not allowed on the same transport together.
There you go.
That's a real thing. That's legit.
That's jokes.
That's 100% true. They're not allowed on the
And then
same
when one
plane,
person dies,
train, or in the same car.
Then they have to
yeah.
get another person.
Yeah, seriously, that's a real thing. Yeah.
And that's what the source code is essentially. It's that magic formula that goes into everything. And if someone wants to get their hands on it, they can very easily manipulate all of the games after that. They can manipulate, they can hack, they can pirate, they can mod, they can cheat. And any form of patching isn't going to help because it's all based on that single source code that they have. And it's very quick and easy to reverse engineer once you have that secret formula. And the reason why people don't have it in the first place is because it just looks like a bunch of code mixed in with a bunch of other code. So you can't see it unless you know what you're looking for.
Right.
And if you know what you're looking for, then you've got the idea right there. So that's the big deal. However, now when I heard this, I was like, oh, shit. See, footage is one thing.
Right.
Lines are one thing. But the source code...
This goes from being a hilarious, like, haha, look what I got as a hacker to, yo, you just commit a serious, like, crime.
Right. And then I'm like...
I mean, it's still a serious crime, but it's kind of funny, and no company wants to, like, prosecute a 16-year-old for stealing footage.
Exactly.
But, like, source code, now you're talking, like, corporate secrets. You're talking billions.
It's going to cost them money and development as well.
What's GTA 5 made? And then they can reasonably say they've put in danger our next version of that.
Yeah.
So we're talking billions with a B.
Yeah.
So it's now not... It's serious.
They would have to... From what I hear, because I'm not a developer here, when I've heard...
Don't let that get in the way of an opinion.
I did Wikipedia searches, so technically I work for Bethesda. I've got the same amount of technical capabilities.
Wow, talk about drive-bys. Listen, I've seen an actor play a hacker on TV once, so I watched like the half of the first season of Mr. Robot, whatever it was. So like,
I watched Swordfish with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, boy,
So
you were paying attention to Hugh. I was paying attention to Halle Berry.
I mean, not gonna lie.
There's no reason you needed those fucking scripts.
The way the screens were as well, like a
doesn't
big
make
circle.
any sense.
I was like, that's not helpful at all.
It's literally the worst possible way to do it.
It was good for that one bit of the.
It's
the
a cool looking
screensaver.
shot, but the second you think about it,
Anyway, the source code, had that gone out and had that been something, they'd have no decision but to start again, to start not all the other assets, but they'd have to restart the foundation again, come up with something entirely different, so it can't be like use the same techniques, and then build up from there all over again. It would add like 2 years to development time or something like that, and that would have sucked for everybody.
Yeah.
However, Rockstar officially came out with a message regarding the leaks and said this. A message from Rockstar Games. We recently suffered a network intrusion, which is an unauthorized third party illegally accessed and downloaded confidential information from our systems, including early development footage of the next Grand Theft Auto. At this time, we do not anticipate any disruptions in our live game services, nor any long-term effects on the development of our ongoing projects. We're extremely disappointed to have any details of our next game shared with you all this way. Our work on the next Grand Theft Auto will continue as planned, and will remain as committed to ever to delivering an experience to you, our players, that truly exceeds your expectations. We will update everyone again soon, and of course, we'll properly introduce you to the next game when it's ready. We thank you, everyone, for your ongoing support through this situation, Rockstar Games. So that makes it sound like they haven't lost the source code then.
Would you admit that?
What's the thing? I mean...
Would you admit it?
Maybe I wouldn't say it out loud.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't then go and say, like, everything's going to be on schedule, guys, don't worry. But I don't know.
Have you paid attention to the last 4 years of gaming?
Solid point. Liars be liars, you know? There is a funny thing that happened. So I don't know if this hacker guy actually does have the source code. We're just thinking right now. He hasn't released it.
I mean, it's a good boast and no one, how can anyone check? No one can verify, yeah.
Now, something bad happened. Somebody posing as him claimed to have the source code and was about to sell it.
Right.
Went and put it on a website for auction, and somebody won it for like $100,000.
That's super cheap.
That is super cheap.
I'll tell you realistically, let's say someone came to us and was like, yo, I got the GTA 6 source code. Do you want it? I would work to come up with millions if it was legit, because we're looking at billions over the next 5 years.
I think the value of it diminishes a lot when when Rockstar know that it's gone, because then they can change it and it can go like that. And then I'm like, well, that's worth.
Well, I'm talking about making your own new game.
Solid point.
If you make a game that's like the game is as good as GTA, but you just don't have the like cachet.
Yeah.
Like that's one step away from.
However, that guy. The guy who won was given a Bitcoin address. The guy transferred him $100,000 in Bitcoins and disappeared. So apparently that was fake.
Imagine going to the police and being like, yo, look, I tried to buy stolen goods here. And this guy did not deliver. I tried to buy billions in corporate secrets for barely 6 figures.
This guy said he was gonna sell me Lewis Hamilton's Bugatti Veyron.
Well, no, this guy told me he would sell me Lewis Hamilton's career. You know?
And he didn't. He took my money and left. It's like,
no.
Come to jail this way. Anyway, this message, I'm with you. I understand that people can, especially companies like this, to save face and to save their stock, I guess, can lie. Makes me feel like that maybe the source code hasn't leaked, or maybe what they have isn't what they think, or whatever. And I would think that the source code isn't just available on like a random server. Like it's behind like a isolated computer, because it's like the secret, like the Coca-Cola thing.
Yeah.
Completely separate people on separate modes of transport, never in the same room together type thing. You'd think there would be something like that, especially when it's as big as GTA.
So I have 2 positions on this.
Go on.
One is never underestimate human stupidity.
Yes.
Right?
True.
And this is a perfect example, also a true story. I think it's either Toy Story or Toy Story 2.
I was going to say you for a second there.
No. I've never done anything stupid or questionable. This is a known fact. Never once. Let's just brush past that. Toy Story or Toy Story 2, might have been Toy Story, got deleted. Do you know this?
I know about this stuff.
Yeah.
I go on fresh memory.
The basic gist is someone somehow managed to delete the movie. All of it from Disney servers or whoever was running at the time. Gone forever. And the only reason the movie happened because it was all gone is that somebody had taken a copy home, like on their personal laptop, for some reason. I can't remember what they were working on.
And I bet they
and had gone on holiday.
As well.
I don't remember if they were authorized, but I think they did have permissions and stuff. And they had taken it for some reason and then gone on holiday. So their computer was well outside of the system when that happened. And that was the only copy. Like if they'd have been in a car crash, computer gone, Toy Story never happens. Like it was gone.
Damn.
So that's how close this can get. So you and I think, well, you got like the GTA source code that goes in like some isolated unit in like a safe site. You know, we're talking this game pulls in how much money is GTA?
billions and billions every year.
How much has
I'm imagining
GTA
a
5
room
made?
in a bunker below the ground, like thousands of feet below the ground, with 2 guards posted outside that are robots.
Well, and like
and
a fucking
laser beams and
pure
shit.
nitrogen atmosphere, so the computer can never like
There's no
degrade.
oxygen in the room, so a human can't get in there to fucking...
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's why it's robots.
Since its release, $6 billion, GTA 5, $6 billion, right? So you and I think, man, $6 billion, by the way, the budget for it was $265 million. So
it's a hair of profit.
So pretty good margins. So you and I think that, but it could just literally have been, we have no idea. The other side of that coin is, had it been, handled properly, I don't know how someone doesn't notice that leaving a server. Obviously, I don't know what this stuff really means, but I know the people that know this stuff. You would notice, I think they call it server load, if like a bunch of data leaves your server and is like sort of doesn't have the appropriate chaperoning, it's unaccompanied, you'd notice that.
Like the art department's going to have a lot of art files on files, so a lot of the animations going to have a lot of the rigging, stuff like that. But when it's like, I am taking everything from every server, every department, all into this one funnel computer, it's like, hold on
I imagine one guy in IT were like, hey Barry, weird question for you. You know how like our system's got like GTA 6 in one folder and then it goes down to all folders? Yeah, someone's just right-clicked copy and then paste on like the mother folder. Are we cool with that?
We're cool with that, yeah. No
That's
worries.
okay. Okay, 7 terabytes of data, but it's fine. Okay, cool.
No worries.
Cool. I just thought I'd check. Cool. Okay, like,
I love how you think it's 7 terabytes only.
yeah, basically, yeah.
The whole of GTA 7 terabytes.
Right. Like.
GTA 5 was bigger than that.
Right. Yeah. If you tried to install this thing,
every time we go, oh shit, GTA 5's not installed. We're just not playing that this week, eh?
right. Like, I definitely think somebody should have noticed that while it was happening. Do you know what I mean? So
who knows? This hacker. I mean, while
what if they're not a hacker? What if their dad works for Rockstar and they just copy pasted off a laptop?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, the thing is, this guy is still chatting around and whatnot. Okay. I don't know what the deal is. Anyway, that's the situation. It really sucks that that they did get hacked. It only sucks because like it probably a bit of a morale dampener. It's like they're working really hard on a project. They want to show it in its best light, and it comes out in this crappy way and stuff like that. That's the only thing. But there are some people out there, these games journalists, who are taking it way too far. So they're complaining. They're like, "Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe that this got leaked like that." All while covering all of the leaks in all of their articles so they can get all these clicks. I'm like, what's wrong? What?
Don't.
The hypocrisy.
Don't start.
The
like,
hypocrisy.
This is the thing, is like, we've always said sort of games journalists are some of the lowest of the low, right? And somehow they still manage to lower the bar to make it worse and worse, to scummier and scummier things. Like, that is literally biting the hand that feeds you. Oh, can you imagine that they did this? Let me just cover these leaks. But can you imagine, like, terrible.
Can you imagine this person hacked this server and released all of these things? Let's talk about the things that they released. So all of this,
right.
It's just so. Oh, man,
they're ridiculous, isn't it? They're ridiculous.
Anyway, that's happened. I'm not too worried about the leaks. I don't think it's gonna hurt them much in any way, provided the source code actually isn't leaked. Provided that's not gone, it's not gonna hurt them that much. They're gonna be fine. I think this just speaks to how good. I think this would. If I was working there, I'd take this as a massive like compliment. Some other games don't get hacked. Other servers don't get hacked for all these games. I'm working on the sickest game ever, the most anticipated game ever. Look at what's happening. Someone's willing to risk their lives, risk their life in prison, just so they can fucking see this game.
That feels like the football coach, with like the 10-year-old football team that has lost every single game in the season, going, guys, we know every way to lose the game. We've done it all. So now, we know what not to do. Just stop doing all the things that we've done this whole season, and it's in the bag. We're this close to victory, But I feel you.
I've got the glass half full kind of guy.
I feel you. On the other hand, someone would look at it and go, a 16-year-old just hacked. Like, the premium, one of the big names. And
hey, if I'm working in the animation department, that's not even my thing. It's like,
True.
bruv, security, you're letting the side down, man. You're letting the side down.
And, I mean, no one hacked Halo.
Yeah.
So
no one cares. But,
But that's what I'm saying, isn't it? Like, you're kind of right.
That's what I'm saying, isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
You're kind of right.
No one gives a shit.
You're kind of right.
Let me kick it over to our boys over on the Discord server.
Yep. Get Discord up, Palm. It's a good thing you had these comments all prepped before.
Well, I'm gonna read Adam's one first.
Okay.
Because he was one of the guys that I mentioned that just doesn't really understand what like development footage looks like. It's just he wasn't too turned on by it. I'll let him say what he's gonna say. He says, personally, I'm mostly indifferent about the leaks. It doesn't look very good, but then again, it's not the final product. So I don't think I can judge it by a few videos that weren't meant to be released. What sucks is how this will probably delay the game's release even further. The only part of the leak that I feel I can compliment on is that it seems to follow the GTA 5 style, being more light-hearted, comedic game, judging, which is a shame since I hope for the game to go back to GTA 4 style, which I much prefer. Not surprising considering the success of GTA 5, exactly. But nevertheless, a shame in my opinion. Anyway, have a good one, lads, and I hope you all have a terrible time at EGX since I'm not there. Motherfucker, I told you weren't welcome there anyway. He was gonna come, the guy, bless him. But
do you know what? I'm really glad he didn't come last year, though.
Yeah.
Imagine he'd made the trip from wherever the frick he lives to. Oh, that EGX sucked. The meetup was cool, but the EGX itself, awful.
I like your points about it maybe going back to GTA 4, and but unfortunately, yeah,
it's a big risk though, isn't it? Because I think for me, Vice City is like my favorite one, right? And it's basically Scarface, but it's a game. And yeah, there's like the funny, quirky comedy aspect, but it's not like a Saints Row original Saints Row like comedy, silliness, which is a bit close to GTA 5. But like GTA 5 did so well, do you want to depart from? Surely you continue on with the style that did well.
Like I said, the GTA fan base right now is very immature. It's like a lot of like younger audience. It's like Fortnite.
Yeah,
it's the same sort of audience, really. They wouldn't tolerate anything really that different. They wouldn't tolerate something to vastly depart or to go even in a better direction.
Yeah.
They just want the same thing, but with just newer graphics.
But then you end up on I hate to talk about unnamed company, but you end up with like Assassin's Creed, where they are sort of churning similar stuff constantly, and the changes they make are just to follow trends, not because it thinks it will make the game better. And then you end up with Valhalla, where it departs from every single thing that it was originally supposed to be and that it was trying to emulate, and somehow makes this weird like melting pot of all the worst aspects of all of the things it was trying to be. And I'm concerned that GTA, although at least they got 10 years between games to see what the changes are going to be, but like if this one doesn't go well, are they going to stop and say, okay, maybe we should go back to our earlier roots? Or are they going to say, oh, we just didn't do it right, we need to double down on things that didn't work last time, we just needed more of it? And then you end up with the new Saints Row.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's tough to know. This is why you shouldn't chase the money. You should chase quality.
Yeah.
Try and make the best game you can make, the best story you can make, with the best mechanics you can make, and you end up with something like Ghost of Tsushima.
The weird thing is that they did that with Red Dead Redemption 2. They went for the best game ever, and they did it. They made a really good game, and then they just went, oh, but what if the GTA money stops?
Right.
So you've done the hard bit. You've done the hard bit. Now just continue to support it.
Why would you think that no one would want a cowboy shooter?
Right.
Like a multiplayer cowboy shooter.
And it's so unique. Where's the next one? Where's the next cowboy shooter? So dumb, man. So dumb.
You would have had all of that market, like all the people that only want cowboy stuff. You would have all of them, plus people that like online stuff, plus people that like your game, plus people. Do you know what I mean? This is
it's so stupid. So stupid. Anyway, moving on to Cryptic. Hashtag get Juiced on Streamcast. Juice sucks. I don't like him. All I can say on the leaks is that I'm very happy that the source code wasn't leaked to the public. Well, we just mentioned that. We think it isn't, but there's also the chance that they're trying to save face, trying to save their stock prices. You never know. But I'm glad as well. If it was to be, it would be horrific, and Rockstar would have to take drastic action. Do you think these leaks in general would have delayed GTA 6 at all? I don't think the video leaks delayed GTA.
I agree.
I think that's all cool. They don't like it. They maybe would have wanted their first outing to be a really nice, well-cut trailer.
Yeah.
Because that's just a creative mind. You want it to be your best foot forward. However, this hasn't hurted them at all.
If they really lost or someone has the source code or anything along those lines, expect significant delays.
Yeah.
Because they have to know what people know and what they need to change and make it secure.
There is something, like I said, about the counterpoint we made about the source code being leaked and Rockstar's response to it. There is a legal thing where they have to tell the truth.
Yeah.
So so they don't affect their stock prices incorrectly, and
but
if they don't say anything, that's one thing. But if you say everything's all cool when everything's burning down behind the scenes, that's just straight lying, and that's fraud.
Yeah. So there's two things on that. Like, sometimes the wording of that, where it's like you have to be honest with your investors, which means they only have to tell the truth on the investor call.
It's also like when Phil Spencer says, like, some people say that we're just burning through cash with Game Pass. That's not true. Game Pass is completely sustainable. And it's like, yeah, you mean sustainable for Microsoft. You're still burning through cash, aren't you?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's sustainable for Microsoft.
Because you said it in that way, it sounds...
Right.
You sound
it's not sustainable for Xbox division, but...
Yeah.
So it's one of those things of, like, how to the letter do they have to follow that, right? So...
They would know the loopholes.
Yes, they would. Plus, they're Rockstar, so they can eat a little bit of bad will, because how many people have rebought GTA 5? Yeah. You know, so like the fact that they lied or omitted or waited a bit of time isn't going to affect the purchasing rate of the next game, right? It's only going to affect investors. And
do you think it's really going to sell as much as GTA 5?
Probably. So obviously we don't know how good the game is.
Yeah.
And I will say, this is a very funny comment. Sean said about GTA 6, playing as a female character for the first time in a GTA game is going to be really interesting, especially since we know girls don't sell. So let's presume the...
Can I quickly make a point about this? Just one second. Of all of the GTA leaks and all of the conversation, all of the discussion, has anyone noticed any hate towards the female protagonist?
This is the thing, because it doesn't exist.
This is the thing. I find this so fascinating, because this wasn't an official release of anything. This didn't go out to influencers. This didn't go out to critics. This just went out onto the internet, and there was no argument.
Because no one cares.
A woman. She's a minority as well. She's a Latina.
No one cares.
No, people were just like, great, let's see this game.
I want a good game. No one
really
cares.
I really honestly feel like if it comes to the, like, when it goes to the official release and the previews and stuff like that, if there's suddenly this this like,
games journalists will make up a reason for why it doesn't do well because it's got a female lead or whatever.
If it comes up with that, if you start to hear chatter about, it's got a female and I don't want to play as a female one, it's totally manufactured. Yeah. Because we got the first test when it went out to gamers, when it went out to people on the internet, it was fine. But then when it goes out to the journalists, when it goes out to the creators that will just want to push their own agenda.
Yeah, it doesn't exist. I
hope that it happens, just so we can go, it didn't happen then. Why is it happening now? The one difference is you guys.
I'll give you a perfect example with a female protagonist that I've always had issues with, which is Aloy. Yeah. Horizon Forbidden West, they had all the stuff at the beginning because either a couple of losers said something about also they posted some very bizarre pictures. Like those pictures of Aloy at the beginning are not good angles of Aloy.
Yeah, they were pretty. I thought when we got the game, was like, it doesn't look
anything like it. And so I don't know if they changed things or what. Or and here's the thing: is it has a pretty good physics engine. She could have been turning, and for all we know, they actually captured facial stuff, which she could have been in the middle of a turn. We don't know, but they weren't the greatest pictures. Okay, whatever. But once the game came out, and it effectively bombed because it came out next to Elden Ring, did you notice anyone saying, Horizon Forbidden West flopped because of its female protagonist. No, people were just talking about Elden Ring, and Horizon Forbidden West is an incredible game. It doesn't exist. It's all manufactured. Same with The Last of Us 2 hate.
Yeah,
right?
Please pay attention to this stuff because
it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
No one really cares. And again, these are female protagonists I have problems with. I have problems with Aloy. I have problems with some of the way that Abby was presented. And still, like, it's not a big issue. It's like a minor, I would have made creative differences, right? No one really cared about that. There was something else. There was another controversy in The Last of Us, which is completely unnoticeable. Like, no one talks about it because it's not a real thing. It's all drummed up. It's all drummed up by like a couple of by people wanting to get clicks, or a few really small, tiny like nobodies that can say something, shout into the wind, and for once be heard. So they say something really controversial.
There was someone who did a similar thing for Forspoken. So Forspoken's trailer came out and universally hated because of how cringeworthy the lines were. Right? Everybody said that. No one mentioned anything else other than the cringeworthy lines. One person gets on, "You guys clearly hate her because she's a black woman." It's like, God damn it.
You what?
We can't have criticisms now of anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, I am telling you, I'm 100%. This was perfect because this is the biggest game. Everybody knows about it. It's going to be played by, like I said before, there's a wide spectrum of people. Even immature people are going to be playing this game because that's like the target of GTA. Even they didn't say shit. This whole thing was fine. If suddenly it comes to the first outing where finally the creators have seen it and finally the journalists have seen it, and there's this fucking stupidity coming back again, I'm going to get so pissed off because it's them pushing it onto us. We just want to enjoy games.
There will be one worry, though.
Don't care if it's...
Yeah, like you and we don't care about this stuff. There is one worry, and that is that, again, I haven't seen She-Hulk, so I can't actually really... I've seen clips and stuff and very cringy stuff. Yeah. If they write the female character really poorly... in fact, I replied to somebody, someone saying, like, why don't we get good female protagonists or like good non-European stories, like, because they were talking about African stories.
Right.
It was because of The Little Mermaid, because I forget the actress's name, but she's black.
It's close to Halle Berry, but it's not.
Yes, it's Hailey Bailey or something like that.
People are very confused. Like, that's Halle Berry?
Right. She's... damn.
she younger.
Looks great. Is it Hailey Bailey? It's something like Hailey Bailey or Hailey Barry or something like that. And so people were complaining about this. One guy was saying, instead of making like European stories and putting black people in it, why don't we tell some African stories? And why don't we get these strong female characters? And I said, the thing with like She-Hulk is that we, the consumers, just want good stories. But the writers and execs don't believe that you get strong female characters. So what they do is, just like they did with She-Hulk and Hulk, is instead of making her great... Like, and I given the example of Suits or Ellie in The Last of Us. They just made a great character, and they happen to be female, and no one cares. No one picks up.
They reversed it. They made him shit.
They drag down an existing character to make her look better, and the reason they do that is because they don't believe that strong female stories and characters actually exist or would sell.
They're the sexist ones.
Same like the reason that you see them like trying to adapt Western material and make it, like. What's the right word? Like inclusive or like gender? Did you call it gender swapping? Not gender swapping, race swapping people, because they don't believe that good African stories exist. Which, by the way, if you know anything, there's some incredible stories, like African stories, Asian stories. There's amazing stuff, and they don't believe it will sell because where's the actual bigotry? It's the executive side, not the audience side. So
we saw it with WB.
Just saying. So, like, all the amount of work you and me do to try and make Christopher Judge be Kratos, right? Like, as long as it works, it works. Yeah. And people are interested in good stories. And it's the execs that don't believe it. But my point is, if they write the character, because this is going to be Suits making the decisions, if they make a shitty female character, then they're going to say people don't like the character because she's female. And the reality is, they don't like it because she's shit.
I blame Disney for a lot of this, by the way. They've created a shield, and I feel really bad for the people who have fallen for it. They've created a social justice shield, and they use it every single time when it comes up. Like when it came to Reva, can you go on Instagram and tell everyone about how like people are hating on black people? These comments, it'd be a really good way to like stand up.
I never even thought about the black angle.
I never did as well. That's the problem.
The worst thing as well. Reva gets 3 scenes. Yeah. If you haven't seen Kenobi, it's really good, but it has problems.
We'll go back to gaming, I
swear. Reva has 3 scenes where she's like incredible. There's a scene where she's interrogating Leia.
Yeah.
There's a scene where she's taunting Kenobi in the
in that hangar place.
yeah. And there's one other that I
Mentions
can't.
Vader for the first time. Anakin for the first time.
Yes. So that character could have been incredible. Like incredible to the point where we would have been crying out for like give us a Reva show.
Yeah.
And instead they tried to insert her in so that they could like tick boxes and show how like what I don't know what the right term is, but they were trying to be like, look, we have this black woman who's the best of the best, right? And Reva could have been, and that actress whose name I forget could have so easily done it.
Do you know what
They just did it.
I wish one of these like actors would turn the other way. But like, you know, Disney, I don't want to make it about race. I'd rather speak to the criticisms and then try to move forward positively. I'd rather that. I wish
don't
they
think
would
they
do
know.
that one day.
And what I mean is, I think they're so close to the project that I think everything she was doing on set looked really cool.
Maybe.
And looked really good. And actors know that something like, if you haven't seen that image of like Flash doing the whirlwind thing,
Yeah.
like in post, it looks really good.
Yeah.
But it looks terrible when you're on set. So they're all accustomed to something not looking great or going great on set and actually turning out okay.
Right.
And I think when she was like, for example, one of the worst things, the parkour flipping down to like chase Kenobi or Leia. I think at the time that was awesome.
She was like, okay, I'm doing about 15,000 of these jumps. They're probably going to use 3. They're not
No,
going to overdo it.
Right.
And then it comes to the show.
Yeah.
Why'd they put so many of them? Why are they...
Right.
This is shit.
And there's so many awesome scenes that don't make it in and so many crap scenes that don't make it in that, you know, you just make stuff and you trust that the process will work. Yeah. And so here's this actually quite talented actress who, when she's given the chance to have these great scenes, it killed it.
Yeah.
Where if that was the Reva we got throughout the show, I would have been your number one guy. Also, like, let's go with the afro, innit? Like,
listen, you're going to replace your one true love, Monica Dambo.
I mean, one man can love many women. Like, but so like she's doing this thing. She comes up with this great product. You know, like I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff that even Zack Snyder said that there was a bunch of stuff left on the cutting floor for Justice League, right? A bunch of stuff that was left out. Like, how cool was that Green Lantern stuff?
Oh.
Right, but it just doesn't make it in. And so I genuinely believe that they all felt it was good. Like, our big criticism of that show was that it was kind of a Reva show, and it should have been Kenobi.
Yeah, we had the minor bits. Not minor. We did have the bits. Some of the bits that we wanted from
incredible
Vader
parts,
thing,
yeah.
but we could have had so much more.
The show looked like it was there to set up Reva, and if they'd have made it a Kenobi show and had Reva in it as a great antagonist, the whole fan base would have been like, yo, seriously, we need Reva. Instead, they tried to make us accustomed to the fact there was going to be a Reva show, and that's the wrong way to do it. And I really do worry they're going to do that.
Who knows?
Because they're not willing to, especially because she played a villain. Yeah. And I think part of the fun of GTA is that you're playing like the villain making their way up. Not the villain, but you're playing a criminal.
You're playing a guy who doesn't play by the society rules. It's not like
right.
You're not an upstanding citizen, as they say.
Exactly.
You've got some loose morals.
You skirt the law at best of times, and at worst, you're breaking it, right? And so I worry that they're gonna try and pull punches when it comes to her. And really, I'd like to see her being the driving force. I'm not in a like, oh, yo, I'm a badass, I'll go toe to toe with like some 6-foot gangster, but like a
play your strengths, innit? Play your strengths.
Leadership role. Yeah. And getting like the dudes to do stuff, because if a girl's going to do it, how can they back down? That sort of stuff. That's the angle to play, and she could easily be like a kingpin.
Well, when we heard about it, I remember your video quite well. Actually, now it's coming back.
I can't remember any of it.
It's going to be a Bonnie and Clyde story, so it's going to be I think that's going to be quite interesting. I think she's going to be her own powerhouse. She's going to have her own skill sets. The male protagonist is going to have his own skill sets, stuff like that. I'm really looking forward to this thing and seeing what it looked like in 2019 makes me wonder what the fuck it looks like now.
Yeah.
Fucking 3 years later, this thing must be even close to... I mean, I was like, this game's going to come out like 2026. What are you guys talking about it now? And then when I saw that's 2019, I was like, could this come out in 2024? Could this?
It could, didn't it?
I mean...
Also...
5 years from then... I mean,
the question really is, when are they willing to potentially cut off the GTA 5 money drip?
never. This game's gonna come out. They're gonna do a Warzone thing where they're like, Warzone 2's coming out, guys. Don't worry, Warzone is still staying here in case you guys don't like the new one. Well, you can always go back. You can always go back. Guys.
What if they specifically make GTA 6 shit, so that there will be people that love it and they'll keep paying, but they're gonna funnel people. The only good GTA to play is GTA 5.
If you come back to GTA 5, everything's all cool again. Just keep coming back.
Right? It's
Buy
possible.
another copy while you're at it.
People didn't like GTA 6 because it's got a female protagonist. Come back to GTA 5.
That'll be the headlines. GTA 6 flops because of
sexist gamers or something.
Sexist gamers, is it? All right, let's move on. But before we move on, bro,
yes,
this is the Conbrosations.
True Gamer Podcast.
This is the True Gamer Podcast.
That's right. We know our own branding.
Coming to your eyes and ears every Saturday here at youtube.com/Conbrosations1. If you like what we do here and you love what you're seeing and listening to right now, you can hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for notifications every now and again when YouTube decides it. If you're listening to us on podcast services, rate us 5 stars on places like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out. And yeah, you can enjoy us over there. If you want to take your support a step further though, if you want to go that extra mile, you can head over to patreon.com/Conbrosations and you can kick us a couple of bucks a month and get exclusive access to the Conbrosations podcast for just $1 a month. We're going to record one this week with Tyler. He's coming from America right now. And that's going to be good fun, so tune in for that. And if you want to get this podcast that you're listening to right now, the day it's recorded, way earlier than anyone else, although our schedules are going to be changing soon, so...
Yeah, forgot about that.
We're going to sort that out. It's going to be a bit of a change, but we'll let you know. You can kick us $5 and become a true gamer and have your name read out just like Adam the High Quality Potato, Gams Master, Sheps' Crusty Right Nut. Actually,
why the emphasis?
It says, I'm going to give it that crustiness. It says Sheps' Crusty Right Nut. It doesn't have the little... So, Sheps' Crusty Right Nut. Isak Manny, the Bat Fan. Isak Manny, by the way, he's a fake Icelandian.
Yeah.
The other day I went to him with some Nordic runes.
Yeah.
And he couldn't read them. Fake.
What's the point of it? Just ban him off the Discord right now.
I told him, like, you fucking fake Icelandic.
Let me just unfollow him on Twitter.
Please do. Thank you very much. The Bat Fan, Adam Sunling, Clark53, Mikey T, Sab2557, Cats McCorrell, Joe McCormack, Super Whale Ben, hashtag the boys season crowd. Hashtag
what?
I fucked up there. Hashtag the boys. Oh, I fucked it up again. Hashtag the boys season 3 streamcast. Hashtag make the nice guys too, please, for the love of holy fuck Hollywood. Gerald Tucker, Fishy, The Jackal, John Infinite, Max H, Cobra SS, and Sam Mason. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, gamers,
for supporting us over on Patreon.
I do love that you were the one that did the build up to it and still didn't have it ready.
Fumble. That is how you can support us over on Patreon. However, guys, if you don't want to kick us any bucks, if you don't want to support us over there monetary, totally fine. You could just watch the videos here, hit the like button, leave a comment. You know, it helps us out with the algorithm and stuff like that. That's the way you can support us for free. Totally cool. And also check out our Twitch channel and stuff like that. Twitch.tv/Conbrosations. Really
Forgot
cool.
we had that.
Oh, and also check out my other channel that I made.
You know,
it's not really that important, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true. And also one of those things, you know, when they say, like, if you're going to do like a call to action, it's like and subscribe, whatever. You want to keep it really simple. The more instructions you give, the more options you give, you just lose 90% of people for every additional option. It's like Twitch, the second channel, like, subscribe, check out the podcast.
0001. I'm like, oh my god, half a subscriber. Yeah, if you want to search for Super Tuber Eddie Plays, you'll find my new channel that I made over there. I did make a God of War theory video yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
On whether or not I think Kratos will die, and explaining the mural on the wall in Jotunheim.
I have to say, actually, that mural thing, I hate to say it, but I think you're right.
Yeah?
It annoys me to ever say that you've got something correct, but I never noticed it.
Because it's just
so obvious who it is, but then you look at it and it's not.
I dug deeper. I was like, so what's going on? What's going on with this? Like, is it him? And there's a novel that was written about the whole game, basically reading the game from Atreus and Atreus' point of view, and they say what they say. And in the novel, Kratos
Is the novel like canon? Is it officially
official canon? It's basically the game, but just written out in.
But I mean, like
words.
Sony Santa Monica giving their okay to it.
Exactly, it's like their script and their thing, everything like that.
Cool.
In the novel, Kratos looks at the in the game he looks at the mural, and in the novel it says Kratos looks at the mysterious person lying in Atreus' arms. So even he doesn't recognize the person. So I'm thinking
because it's very clear that he's on the mural somewhere in a few places.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting.
So he recognizes himself everywhere else, but there he's like,
so
that
for
doesn't
more,
feel like me.
For more, you should check out this video because while there's a bunch of stupid opinions and waffle, he got at least one thing right.
Thank you guys for your support over there. All right, bro.
Yeah.
So let me
What's
just pull up
topic?
The next topic is going to be how PlayStation is going to be launching next year a PlayStation 5 without a disc drive and be selling a disc drive separately so it can be attached via a USB-C cable. So this is from Tom Henderson.
Okay.
He's joined a new website called Insider Gaming. It's a whole new website where they're going to be talking about industry inside stuff, and this is one of them, like leaks and stuff like that. Financial year 2023, around about September, this new PlayStation will replace all the current models. So all the current models will be off the shelves after that, and it will be just this one digital-only model with a detachable CD drive that you can purchase extra, and it will connect via USB-C cable on the back of the console, which currently there isn't one. What do you think about this? How do you is it a good idea? Is this something that you'd be interested in? I mean, if you're a new PlayStation user at this time, you'll have no choice, but what's your thoughts?
I'm going to say this. My initial knee-jerk reaction was, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then, within a split second, I remembered my Game Boy Color.
Oh, yeah?
And how many different attachables there were for it. Printer, camera, lights, all sort, magnifying glasses, all sorts of stuff. And suddenly I didn't think it was so stupid. And, like, for you and me who have the disc game console, it doesn't make any difference because we functionally have the same as a it's the best of both worlds. We can have our physicals because we like physical collectibles, and a bunch of games are digital anyway, so we can do both. If you got digital only because you don't like discs, you're stuck if you ever wanted to buy a game secondhand, like from one of these stores. So I think this actually does make a lot of sense, where they can keep the model itself sleek and slim with a profile that they like the look of, and it can be, the problem with the PS5 as it originally came out was that the heating system and the heat sinks and the fans and stuff, which they got updated afterwards, but they had to work for both, and a disc drive adds heat. Now they can have it specific way that they want, and if you want to get a secondhand game, or you want to buy some collectible that only has a physical disc, even though I know they'll come with but let's say buying it secondhand and the code's gone. Now, one, they're getting you to purchase another piece of peripheral stuff, and there's money built into that. And two, you have more options. And three, the console, they only have to have one mold, one set of manufacturing principles, one engineering spec. So I think it makes a lot of sense for everyone.
That's the thing. In the long term, that's what it does, and that's the big plus. That last bit there, where like essentially one console's being made, drastically reduces the number of different manufacturing lines you need. You just need one line making one console, go like that, and then a separate disc drive thing, which is easy to manufacture. It's just a disc drive.
Well, they're Sony. They make disc drives all the time.
So it's very easy that way, and I guess the idea is because this price hike, again, they didn't want to do it. It's just because of the economics in different countries and stuff like that. I'm guessing that's what this is building towards. Like, they've brought out 3 different versions of PlayStations now, each one of them having less and less of the heatsink inside because they realized they overdid it, and all that copper costs money, and all that extra bit costs money. So they're trying to draw it down.
Also, as of right now, the PS5 isn't even being my fan hasn't kicked on once.
Exactly.
And I've put it through some paces with gaming and stuff, and like in the heat wave that we had this year, the hottest day ever recorded, my fan didn't kick on.
Yeah.
So.
And my walls melted. I just put those back up the other day.
Yeah.
So I think what they're doing is they're building up so they can be like, okay, when we launch this new thing, it's going to be quite cheap. I don't know if it'll be dirt cheap, but I'm thinking that they will go back to the $399 price.
That would be good.
And they'll be like $399. It's like the cheapest console out there. Go and get it. And if you want the disc drive, it's going to be on the side. I was initially a little bit pissed off about the disc drive. I was initially, because it reminded me of the last generation of Apple laptops that all came with only USB slots, USB-C slots, and you had to buy dongles for fucking everything.
Yes.
And I was like,
but
they're pulling an Apple move.
But Sony have never done that. So far, yet.
Yes.
They've never done that.
I was like, they're pulling an Apple move. They're trying to figure out a way they can get more money out of us and stuff like that. But I was like, it's only for this one thing. And then you've got all these other benefits of streamlining everything else. I'm like, okay, all right, I think I might have jumped the gun on that one. They're not offering me 1,000 different peripherals for this one thing. So I think I maybe jumped the gun on that one.
I'll tell you where my confidence will be completely restored is once the new model comes out, if they try and get it back down to that price point, then I'll say, okay, yeah, they really are trying to do best practices. The thing is, if you streamline the engineering on their side, and the cost and the heatsink and all that stuff, then they can go one or two ways: maximize profits or maximize sales. And if they maximize sales, the best way to do that is to say, look, we've worked tirelessly to bring you the best console console you know and love, and here it is, and we've managed to make these changes and bring it back to $399. The only caveat is if you want a disc drive, you have to buy it separately. A lot of people don't care about the discs. And I was also thinking, what about people that want to watch movies? Most people have something like Netflix or Amazon Prime anyway. So
subscription services killed the movie industry. What are you talking about?
Yeah, if you've seen that Matt Damon clip, it's anyway, yeah, exactly. So it seems to me to be a good idea if they bring the price back down.
Yeah.
I will say, okay, yeah, this is another reason why I'm happy that we picked Sony.
It's a lot of there's a lot of pluses on this side. I can see why they did it. Because on top of the bringing it down to one manufacturing option, so that obviously cuts down on costs there. On top of it being like, okay, we don't have to worry. We can sell this additional disc drive now to people who have purchased the digital edition before, because all it'll be is a firmware update, and then it will be act as if the new PS5.
And there's still USB-Cs on the thing. It's just in the back instead of on the front.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's going to work backwards and forwards, and people are going to get to have whatever option they want. If they do buy a digital console, it's even better for Sony, because then they get the cut through the digital store that they get and stuff like that.
Everything's better digital for Sony.
I think they've thought about it, and they're like, there's a lot of ways for us to ensure that we get some income out of this, and hopefully we can. I hope they're thinking, let's bring down the cost of the console as well.
If they're smart, they've remembered that the way this used to go was you eat a loss up front on the console. Up until the PS4, every console loses money, and you make your money on the back end. And this was before internet stuff. Like the PlayStation 1, they lost money making it.
Yeah.
Before the internet was a thing, they made money on like peripheral sales and games and stuff like that. That's how you make your money. And if they've remembered this, then they can say, you know what, if we streamline stuff, we can break even, maybe make a slight profit, maybe make a slight loss. Whatever happens, it's fine, because there's more digital consoles out there. It means anything goes online, we get a cut from, plus we can sell this peripheral and maybe make some money or break even on that, but who cares? Because the point is, the more people spending more time on the console, the better.
Yeah.
And that's the way they should be looking at it. So
I will say there's one con. What is this disc drive gonna look like, and how is it gonna be? Because
I'll tell you, if it was me,
like a USB-C cable off to the side and just this square thing just on the edges, look, when it's all built in, it's all so nice.
I think what they should do is make it so that it slots somewhere as if it's one piece. Like a...
One piece.
One piece. Aha! Confirmed. He's starting it, guys. We'll skip the intro, skip the outro.
We'll be done in 4,000 hours.
No comment. No, it's not even... It's barely 400 hours.
Oh, it's not...
Barely.
Barely, bro.
That's including intros and outros and catch-ups.
Nothing. That's
nothing. What they should be doing, we've said this before, they should be doing the custom panels on the sides. You do a Red Dead Redemption version, and you make the disc drive a hat.
There you go.
So you got like Red Dead Redemption on the side and the hat on the top. Boom.
And then like like in the game, it keeps falling off.
Perfect.
You have to go pick it up.
I agree with you. That was my first thing, is like, I get that it makes sense, but how's it going to look? And also, the PS5 isn't exactly set up from like a design and visual aspect to have stuff attached to it because it's a weird shape. So if you're an idiot and you have it the wrong way where it's sideways, which now there's no reason to do it because there's no disk drive, it can't go on top because stuff's going to slide. If you have it standing up the way it's supposed to be, it could go on top, but there's fans there and like the wings of the panels, like it doesn't really fit. So is it going to go to the side? And then if it's to the side, what's the point? And it's already a big machine anyway. Not that big, but like it is big.
For my hands, it's big.
Right, that's why probably you got to double hand it. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, that's everything I think on that topic right there. Let me just check the guys in our Discord and.
I will say, Alpha. I saw you comment about the Scorn gameplay. I just watched it.
It looks awful. Bye.
Super alien looking, I mean, Alien the movie. It looks really good. I hope it's a good game because one, I'll dig sci-fi alien type stuff, and two, Xbox desperately needs something good. So fingers crossed you get it.
Gamsmaster wrote into patreon.com/conversations just like you guys can. He said, Sony potentially making a digital-only console with the added external disk drive to buy separately may sound scummy. But if it means a cheaper console without compromising performance, I'm here for it. Apple did the same thing with their chargers and nobody batted an eyelid. I think people batted an eyelid.
Yeah.
People batted an eyelid.
But they're the only Apple.
But that's true. But also, this is the thing. Apple do a lot of this stuff. Right?
They're so scummy.
They do a lot of this stuff, so I'm not giving them part. I'm not trying to defend them. But literally, I have so many chargers in my house. Everybody has these USB-C chargers and lightning cables and stuff like that. I don't believe their reasoning is like, oh, we were trying to save on like landfill and stuff like that.
Lies.
Shut up.
Liars. Also,
but I don't need it.
Also, it doesn't. You know this, like selling like phones without chargers makes waste way worse because now you have to go to another company. They have all their own waste, and that all gets thrown in.
All this extra packaging and stuff like
where
that.
Apple, who have made it forever. So it's a lie. They're trying to save money. There's no margins on it,
Because Apple did the same thing with the chargers and lightning. But this is PlayStation, so I'm sure... I love it because we've made him so cynical like us. He goes, but this is PlayStation, so I'm sure they'll get dragged through the streets for such a horrible business strategy. I do like the idea, though, because I do have the digital version of the PlayStation 5, and now I'm seeing the collector's edition for games I want. Well, don't worry, if it's a PlayStation one, it's going to come with a digital code anyway.
Yeah, it does come with digital code. But, and this is where we disagree with the way they do the collectibles, it should come with the disc too. I want the disc. I don't want a case. I want my case to have the game in it.
You think paying fucking like 250 quid, you'd get fucking
a CD,
right? Anyway, but I just don't understand why they make the steelbook then and put it in and it's empty.
The steelbook's the expensive bit.
What's that for?
It doesn't make sense.
And there's like the CD spot there, and it's fucking hell.
And again, some people are like, oh, but you know, the difference between the PlayStation 4 and 5 stuff is different. Just put it in one disc. It doesn't matter. Put it as a PS4 disc and we'll download the updates.
How many discs are there? I think the Cyberpunk one is like that, where like you have to put the disc in. It's like a DRM sort of thing like that. But the game's actually digital download on the console. Do that!
Yeah.
Anyway, but I'll be spending, he goes, I like the collector's edition for games I want, but I'll be spending £300 to £400 per game because I have to buy it twice. Because if you buy a collector's edition, it comes with a digital, physical media. You'll have to buy it again for the digital code as well. An optional disc drive sounds good to me, and that'll be great for you to get that right there. Have a good one, boys. Thank you so much, Gamesmaster, for writing there.
BS Bro 1 says on our Discord, detachable disk drive isn't something I'm interested in. Too close to PC peasantry with an external HDD, or how Apple forces you to pay for disk drives. Ideally, the new PS5 will cost the same as the disc-free version, with the external hardware costing a difference between the disc-free and standard versions. So I'm hoping, and I think this is what you meant, that the new diskless version will cost the same as the original price of the diskless, the disk drive-less version, because obviously all the prices went up. And I do hope that streamlining of production and being able to like minimize the heat sinks and stuff like that will lead to the fact that they go, we make so much from the digital stuff, we can break even or make a loss.
Yeah.
You know? Because I think everybody has been shocked by how much money you can make with the online services, and I just hope that they don't get tied up on the fact that they did make profit on the consoles last gen.
They seem to be stuck on that, and it's just like, dude, you can. I get it, especially when someone lays it out in front of you. They're like, if we lose $50 on this and we sell 1 million, that's $50 million loss. It's like, I get it, but A, think of your customers.
Every
B,
Netflix,
think about how
every
much
Amazon
is going to come
Prime,
back. Exactly.
Every Fortnite microtransaction. Yeah, exactly.
BS Bro 2 writes in and he says, the new PS5, having to buy a disc drive extra sounds like a pain in the ass. Like, what if they're not available? That's okay. What if they're not available and then you'd have to wait around to buy a disc drive completely? Buy the disc drive completely. I don't even want to know what it would cost. So this is a good point. This is something that we didn't bring up, and I thought about it. I just remembered now. Sometimes you can't find a PS5.
True.
Sometimes you can't find. Like, I couldn't find the controller for the longest time the media remote.
Yeah.
For the longest time, and I wanted it, but it wasn't a big deal, so no big thing. Imagine if they sell the consoles and they just don't make enough of the disc drives.
I had just now a worse idea.
Oh god.
Or a worse timeline.
Oh god.
How much more achievable is it for scalpers to buy this thing at $49.99, buy them all up and sell them at $99.99, where everybody can spunk £100 realistically, and their profit margins double instead of plus 20 or 30%.
We've just given them a lower entry point to jump in now.
Yeah, exactly. And like, think about it. Let's say, some of these guys bought 10 PS5s. We can buy 100 of these things, we assume, and just double the price on them.
Fuck.
And your margins are better.
And the thing is, people are probably a bit more acceptable. Like, where you're buying a £450 console and they're selling it for 600. It's like, okay, that's a lot of money. I won't do it. But people are like, oh,
from 50 quid to like 80 quid.
Just to solve my problem, I'll pay 100 quid right now. Just to solve my problem.
Right.
Fuck.
That's the worst timeline, isn't it?
That is the worst timeline. I hate that. I can see that happening. That's going to happen.
Luckily, we don't need it because we're smarter than the average bear.
Exactly. Average bear?
Isn't that what the Yogi the bear says?
I don't know.
I'm smarter than the average bear. I feel like that's a real thing. I might have just made it up. If so, what is it? Like face, arms? No, I'm not having a stroke. Okay, we're good.
He continues to say, but I guess it'll be cool if that means we can get more than one PS5 a year in this country.
Right.
Also, I feel like they're going to do some shit with so that the version won't be $450, I guess he means. I feel like they're going to make some excuse to charge the price of the original PS5. I hope not, but this could happen. We're just guessing here. Maybe in a year's time, economics will be a little bit better. Doubt it.
It's because all of the world's governments are determined to make all of the worst decisions for you. But we're not getting into politics.
They're not ready yet. They're like, we're setting up our investments, and then we'll switch our ideas.
Right.
Anyway, so that's happening right there. Is there any more? I think that's everything.
I think we've got everything. Sorry, I'm just checking. Sean said something about he's got PSVR 2 here.
I think the one below it. What's that say?
When do you guys think the headset will be released?
Okay.
For the
We'll talk about PSVR 2 in a second.
Cool.
All right, that's that one done then. All right, let's move on to our next topic.
Gaming is the next topic. My favourite segment of the show, never forgotten. Correcting Conbrosations.
It can be.
So if you're new around here, we say things on the internet. I say too many things on the internet. And we've never once let pesky things like facts and information get in the way of a strongly held belief. So, when we say something on the show that's not right, you just have to head down to the comment section of this video and type in at 13 minutes and 72 seconds when you said this is actually that. And then next week, if we remember to do it, we'll read out your comment and credit you. But, normally, our brains are big and wrinkly and you're like koala brain motherfrickers, you can't catch us because we're so smart. We're so smart. Have we got any corrections? I don't think so. I don't see how we possibly could.
Minor stuff right here.
Minor things, isn't it? Let's just get through these minor, just nice and quick.
Tailgate wrote in and he said, correcting Conbrosations at 2 hours and 28 minutes and 26 seconds.
That's how you do it, Tailgate.
Thank you very
Let's
much,
see if you got the correction right.
Shep
Never mind.
Shep said the alphabet ends with Z, but in fact, the English/Latin alphabet that ends in... Oh, it's the English/Latin alphabet that ends in Z. But other languages have their own alphabets and more letters after Z. Who gives a shit about those?
I'll tell you this. Yeah, exactly. English best language. So, like...
English number 1. God save the king.
Oh, shit. We have to say God save the king now, don't we?
Say that now, yeah.
I'm not saying that. It just doesn't feel right, innit? After all these years with Liz.
Exactly. Liz was my one anyway.
Innit? At this point, there's only 2 royalty that I actually consider to be real.
Meghan Markle.
Oh shit! I was totally going anime with that.
Oh, okay. Were you?
I was going to be like Vegeta, Prince of the Saiyans, and Luffy, who's not yet but will one day be King of the Pirates. One Piece, as you know, you're a big fan of One Piece, but that's the only 2 royalty that I actually.
My mind is stuck in Norse mythology, so all I can think of is just Odin.
Odin, yeah.
Okay, but you says, for example, my language is Swedish. No one cares. Alphabet ends in A with a circle, A with 2 dots, or O with 2 dots.
No one cares about your umlauts or whatever they are.
Umlauts.
That's German, I think. I just had an idea. You know how I was saying, like, one of the things in Kenobi that I liked and then they ruined was, like, having Leia learn Kenobi as Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
Because that, like, sort of retcons some of the things in A New Hope. What if you're right about time travel and we go back to the Greek pantheon and that's how they come up with this idea that there'll be a guy that destroys stuff. That's why how they learn about Kratos, because of Kratos, and that kicks off the original trilogy, which kicks off this whole thing. That would be a sick tie-in. I don't know why that'd
be jokes. That'd be jokes. They'd tie in the whole thing, all of it from the beginning.
Right.
He says these letters are probably incomprehensible to the 2 of you to pronounce since you don't speak my language, and that will be fun seeing you guys try to attempt it in the next episode. O, A, and O. Ooh, I sound like a whale.
I've seen Finding Nemo. I can speak whale. Exactly. I'll say this.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be throwing shade at alphabets. I've seen the Turkish alphabet.
Whoa,
you got freaking like commas and shit under C's.
Wait.
My girl's friend at one point, like when she was at school, was Hatice.
Yeah.
There's C's in the name and shit. There's a J.
Do you know what? I actually don't mind the Turkish alphabet because like the things that you see with like the little lines underneath like the C or the S, all it is like sh or ch. And it's it's an easy thing to learn. The only dumb thing is they have 2 I's. And the only difference is one doesn't have a dot and one does. And it's not a capital in there. And sometimes you're looking and it's just like, I pronounced it this way. No, that's completely wrong. Completely wrong because it doesn't have a dot on the top. I'm like, okay, you just fucked up now. You just took... That could be a spelling error. Someone writing it down, they forgot to put the I on it.
Do you know what's funny? Is the other day someone was saying, these other alphabets there, I don't know how anyone learns to read these other languages, right? Like Arabic or like Oriental languages, right? Because they're so like, they just all look like squiggles. And my initial response was, yeah, I'm with you. And then I was like, hold on a minute.
Isn't all...
First of all, it's all squiggles.
It's all squiggles.
And then I'm like, and then I sort of said that and they were like, yeah, but like they all look alike. And I'm like, R, N, and M are almost the exact same.
Yeah.
A and O, this is all lowercase, and C's just half an O. Right. U and W, like...
W's just 2 V's, for some reason.
No, it's double U.
But it's not W.
It's 2 U's, it's double-U.
It's said that way, but it's not.
It's 2 U's.
Yeah, but you don't do that when you think you do that.
That depends on your handwriting, though, doesn't it? Like, and then I was like, I, T, and L are the same shape except there's just a line on the T or a dot on the I, and a capital I looks like a lowercase L depending on your handwriting. I was like, you know what? I think you've definitely got the wrong side. B, D, P, and Q are all the same, but I just flipped down. And G is the same, just got a little kick. Like, I'm not sure we actually have the dub on this one.
I don't think you should maybe be throwing shade.
And then there's how you actually do our language. Like we always
silent letters everywhere.
Yeah, there's silence. Did you know this is true? I think we're the only language we have more spelling rules with exceptions to the rule than words that follow the rule. No other language has that.
So all of these rules, except in these 16 instances.
And then it's like it all works, except though that word where that rule would be applied in English, except that word's from Latin, so it doesn't apply. Or actually, that one's a French word, so it doesn't apply. Or it's a German word, or a Norwegian word, or an OG like 3,000-year-old like Gaelic Celtish word. Like maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't throw shade.
Runic Firebird writes in, and he says, "Alright, I'll get the missed or forgotten correction out of the way because I said I wouldn't do it every week. The count is still at 3.
God.
Now I have one correction this week, and it's not for Sheps.
Please continue."
That's right, Sheps. You're clear this week of my corrections. Eddie, we're talking about Spider-Man. You were talking about Spider-Man and said that the Green Goblin was teased in the post-credit scene at the end of the first game. It was not. Venom is teased, and Harry Osborn being Venom is teased in that scene. Are you sure?
You know, I was about to say the dumbest thing. I was about to say, I don't remember that. And then I remembered, this is the one game I didn't play.
Yeah, you didn't play it.
How?
You got that memory of it, but it's not there.
Do you know what's dumb as well? Is every now and then I'm like, I need something to play. And I know I haven't played this game. And I just, somehow in my brain, it's like, yeah, ticked off. I've played it. But I haven't. How weird is that? Or like, I'm excited for Spider-Man 2 because Spider-Man PS4 was so good.
So good.
But I haven't played it.
You should totally incorporate that in all the stuff. It's like, man, the reason why I like 2 now so much is because in 1...
Yeah, in comparison to 1.
Oh, God. Are you saying that knowing the knowledge of... So it says Green Goblin is teased during MJ's stealth section in Norman Osborn's office. You can find blueprints and actually put the helmet on while you're there. Okay, I didn't know about that bit. Okay, so I...
Just take your L, blood.
I don't know about that one. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm
inclined to think... Runic Firebird's had a track record of wins, you know.
Oh, really?
I think we should trust the man.
You really respect the man, do you?
This opinion is fire.
Fine. That was the week before, so let's go to last week now. Here we go. Newest first. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Wasim, for this, by the way. You're going to see this in the new episode. He said, when's this coming to Spotify and Apple Podcasts? I guess something's happened and I haven't noticed that.
Whoops.
Last week's episode didn't go up. Sorry! Here we go. PS, just to drop in an idea here. Sheps, you should start a solo channel with Ghost of Tsushima gameplay vids, anime and stuff. That would be cool. That's Giuseppe saying that, by the way.
I can't honestly tell if that's a joke or not.
Yeah, I don't know if he's not. Does he know? He did make one time.
I did make one for Ghost of Tsushima content.
And people universally said that he sucks. And they said
they were like, it's not you per se. It's not the content per se. It's like you as a being that we can't stand. It's who you are as a person. So I did actually make a Ghost of Tsushima channel. And the thing is, I believed my own headcanon propaganda, which was that it was going to be basically Red Dead Redemption 2, but in feudal Japan. And while I love the game, and I do love it, it's one of my favorite games of all time, the story stuff is just a hair hollow. And there's not really, and this was the key thing. So like our friend Ethan made, Fishy had this huge Red Dead Redemption library, and I was intending to make videos a la that, and it's just not. I didn't find that it was there for Ghost of Tsushima. That's what I started out doing that stuff, and then it never really. There wasn't any content there for me to make really.
And you sucked.
And I'm shit.
Yeah.
Which is obviously the big problem. But good point. Anime.
Hey, you can if that's how you're gonna get your anime out of this area.
Right.
That's fine. You do that.
Sorry, so you were or weren't gonna watch Edge Runners? That's what I thought.
Sean wrote in and he said, this is a correction for me and I hate this one. Hattie is pronounced Ha-T, not Haiti. So in my
You
video,
mean, like, I thought you said Haiti for like like the country. I'm like what?
I fucked up so hard. I said multiple times.
Yeah,
I
like
called him
15 times.
Haiti,
Yeah.
and then one time I said Hattie, and I was like, it was towards the end. I was like, hold on a second, that's how you say it. I've been saying it wrong this whole video. Fuck. And I'm in the editing. I'm like, ah, shit. I can't even mask it in any sort of way or cut it off at the end. So yeah, he goes. He says that, please stop saying it like that. It's pissing me off. He said.
On the other hand, most people don't know how to say half of these names, like Yormagunda and stuff.
Yeah, it's
So
pretty hard stuff.
yeah, so you can just be like, yeah, that's how you say it. Until you do another video and be like, yeah, of course it's Hattie.
I'm English, and we came up with the language. So,
It's true.
So there you go.
It's true.
Runic Firebird wrote in and he says, okay, bros, I will keep the count where it is. Now for correcting Conbrosations. Sheps.
Never mind.
Eddie Brock is Venom from Spider-Man.
That's
not
right.
from Tekken. Eddie in the...
What? Shut up. I don't care if you know it's Flash. Shut up. What's he got to say?
Eddie, he's talking to me now. Is it Tears of the Kingdom? It is Tears of the Kingdom, not Tears of Kingdom. Fuck the.
Yeah. Frick English. English is stupid. It's got stupid language.
The main takeaway
Wait, why
from
are we just defending English? What was our position on English again?
The main takeaway is that Nintendo was disrespecting our country.
That's right.
And not
They came
respecting
after our queen.
Our mourning period. Okay, that's the main takeaway. God damn it. And Shep's AC Mirage is set in Baghdad, not Iraq.
Baghdad's in Iraq, you dick.
Isn't that I was gonna say, isn't it a city?
Yeah, it's like the city.
I thought it was the city in
It's
Iraq.
like our London, isn't it?
Or is it Iran?
No. Nah.
Where is Baghdad?
Definitely Iraq. Final answer for the £1 million. It's
Dun dun
definitely Iraq.
dun. Baghdad is the capital of Iraq. Yeah.
Correcting
Runic
Runic
Firebird.
Firebird.
There we go. Let's get it back, guys. And lastly, Shep's Frozen came out in 2013. You fake fan.
What? What did I say?
You clearly said something other than.
I feel like I said like 2017, but was I talking about Frozen 2? I don't know. Okay, shit movie and shit songs.
Let's kick it over then to our next topic. Since we just naturally brought up AC Mirage,
Right.
So,
I was like, we're not talking about Frozen.
YouTuber Dan or Allen Gaming exposed as the real insider on Twitter.
Cool.
So the real insider recently made a bunch of posts and a bunch of leaks, and they were really accurate. This guy hadn't been wrong in the past. Sean even followed him very closely. He would post stuff to us and we'd talk about it on the show.
I remember seeing that.
He was a very reliable source, and it turns out the reason why he was very reliable is because he's a YouTuber and he had like YouTuber content creator access, and he would go to events and see behind closed doors, and then he would leak all that information. So that's how he got all the stuff there. The way that he got exposed was that he replied to a person asking the real insider a question and forgot to change his account.
Mate.
And he replied with his YouTube channel.
That's like having two Twitters, like one for your normal stuff and one for like Twitter porn, and then responding to your thing with all your filthy degenerate. You know, because there's some weird stuff that go like Twitter's got some dark corners in it.
Yeah.
So that's like doing that. What?
So yeah, he outed himself. He did post up a little apology. Let me just see where he posted a video, and also he posted a tweet. I'm gonna go to the thing. For some reason, it's not a link, and it's just a
I'm just gonna
URL.
say, I believe the apology. We should never question YouTubers that have to apologize for things. So
you feel
we
strongly about that,
can just move on. He's obviously apologized. There's nothing to continue with.
He's actually deleted his Twitter account now. So he posted the apology on Twitter, and he's deleted it. I guess he's just gotten so.
I think the real issue is that everybody knows it's him now, and not like content-wise, but like convention-wise.
I'm confused by this whole thing.
Yeah,
because. Well, he outed himself.
Yeah,
he's gonna suffer the repercussions of it. He probably signed NDAs and stuff like that. He's gonna get into
legal
legal
for
issues.
a fact he signed NDAs because didn't we have to do stuff for that Cyberpunk thing? Yeah.
So he's gonna be in the trouble that he gets in. There's no use in us like burning him to the ground or hurling abuse at him or anything like that. He's gonna get whatever is coming to him, right? It's totally done now. what happened afterwards was a bit annoying to me. So Jason Schreier, our favorite journalist, is, one of the best out there,
with you,
great stuff. He had a particular beef with this guy before. So he posted the AC Mirage leaks and the new games that are coming up, the AC Red and Hex and stuff like that in the future. And Jason Schreier immediately came out and was like, it's probably fake. I haven't heard any of this stuff. And then the guy was like, hey, I'll wait for your apology when it comes out. And then it did come out. And then he goes, okay, yeah, my bad on that one. It totally was correct. And I think secretly Jason Schreier was holding a grudge against him for that. Yeah. Because when it came out, he acted like this was the biggest, most unbelievable act anyone has ever done.
Yeah. Can you imagine some like relatively... How many YouTube subs has this guy got?
I think it's like 100k subs.
So relatively, in comparison to like the big boys, small channel.
Yeah.
I mean, nowhere near the size of us, for example.
And what's really funny about it, he's coming out, he's like, leaking this kind of information when you've signed NDAs is awful.
Yeah, could you imagine?
Jason Schreier makes his living off of people who have NDAs coming to him, giving him leaks so he can talk about it.
Crazy. A games journalist with no scruples? What?
I was like, what?
A games journalist leveraging his position
the fuck?
With the microphone to attack somebody as a personal grudge against? No way.
And then he goes and does even more dumb shit. Like, you don't need to go and set the guy on fire. Like, if the guy's already on fire, you don't need to go dash petrol on him. Jason Schreier decides to take the time out of his day, time out of his weekend, to go through all of his YouTube videos and all of his tweets and line it up with stuff that the Real Insider has said. So he's now implicated him in a bunch of other NDAs that he's signed and leaked and stuff like that. Granted, he's committed the act, so, he's going to get what's coming to him. But you don't have to go, like, tattle on him to all the teachers and be like, look, he also copied here. He also copied it this time.
But that's who Jason Schreier is.
Exactly.
And no one likes that guy. No one likes a grass. But here's the thing. What we were saying earlier about games journalists, can you believe this Rockstar stuff got leaked? Let's discuss the leaks. Here, let me just freaking... they're the same. They're all the same.
Like, we're talking about the leaks here. We're not throwing shade at no one. Well, like, the leaks got out. People who did it are going to get caught. People who have been caught are going to get punished. That's their business.
Also, at the end of the day, we ultimately want the game to be good. Yeah. And genuinely, we like the people involved. It doesn't help to, like, rag on... Like, it's happened. It's done now. Choosing to like live in that space of like you made this mess up, we need to keep going at you, Rockstar, how can you not, like, your security's not good enough, your game's going to be shit, look, we've seen this like 4-year-old gameplay images, like it's looking to be shit. It doesn't help anyone move forward because ideally you want GTA 6 to be good. We have no idea if they're going to actually try and push you back to GTA 5, fingers crossed. You want GTA 6 to be good, you want Rockstar to do well, because hopefully the longer Rockstar are like in business and in profit, the better the chance of another Red Dead or like Red Dead factions, whatever they want to call it, happening, right? Now, is it going to happen? No, like probably not. You'll be disappointed. But the longer they're in business, the more likely it is to happen, right?
Yeah.
That ultimately, by getting past the stuff that has already happened and doesn't help staying on it, gives you the best chance of getting to where you want to be. Or you can just whine that, they got hacked. Bruv, if this guy can get into there, trust me, you're getting hacked as well. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, like people get hacked. Also, like, we don't know how he did it. Like, I feel like people think hacking is this, like, one guy against the mainframe, break in, like sort of a cyberpunk thing. And really what happens is he probably sent a phishing email to somebody or like a fake Google Chrome update, and the guy clicks it and he got access.
That's how it always happens.
It's really, actually, hacks are really simple like that. Some really innocuous thing gets the wrong person the ability to get into a place it's not supposed to be, and they walk off with the data. That's what actually happens. And the reality is that has it's not cool and sexy. There's no hacking the mainframe, I've created a backdoor, blah, blah, no. Guy clicks an update for Google Chrome that no one else gets, because of course you have to update Google Chrome now and then.
And that was just like an access point for him.
Exactly.
Anyway, that guy's made a huge mistake. He's completely fucked himself over. He needs to get a lawyer quick time.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how that happens right there. And the games journalist shut your mouth.
Yeah, Jason, maybe just get fricked. Go away. No one cares.
No one cares
And
about-
no one's going to like you because of this.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to get friends. So,
Our next topic, EA officially come out and they say that they are working on an Iron Man game. EA Motive is working on an Iron Man game. No, not much more information has come out. Apparently it's going to be single player. T wrote in and he said, EA is making a new Iron Man game and apparently it's single player and early in development. And the lead writer is the same guy who wrote Guardians of the Galaxy. Which sounds interesting. That's all the information that we have on it, so not a big thing right there. It is EA, so there's always the worry that they're going to fuck it up.
there is a concern somehow how are they going to work microtransactions into it.
Right. But Iron Man, cool character. Guardians of the Galaxy writer. I like Guardians of the Galaxy. It could have been a one-time thing, but we'll see what happens next.
We're hearing good things, you know, single player, that sounds good in the sense that they're just going to focus on making it about Iron Man.
Yeah.
And we're not, for the record, I'm not saying, like, obviously Marvel's Avengers was like single player, but it wasn't really.
Yeah.
On the other hand, fingers crossed it goes this way. They make a good just story game where you play as Iron Man, and then people say, "Yo, I'd love to like play with my friends, like a fighter game or like Battlefront 2's Starfighter."
Yeah.
And you just play as like Iron Man shooting down other Iron Mans in the sky. Wouldn't that be dope? Or
That'd
through a
be
city,
cool.
you know, like I don't know if anybody would want to play as some super powered guy shooting lasers flying through a city. You know,
I'd be more concerned about the destruction to the city.
collateral damage, innit?
Because heroes, they don't cause collateral damage.
True.
Never before.
True. Iron Man's never blown up tanks in a town, or Hulk's never taken out Lagos or wherever it was.
No.
So stupid!
So dumb.
But that could be dope, because also, for you, it'd make for good gameplay, because you're good at those sorts of fighter, especially anything with the 3D, your pitch stuff.
It works for me.
I hate that, but you were good at the Starfighter Assault, weren't you? Like, legit
really like
good.
that.
So, like, but imagine you're like, boop, 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 taking out Iron Manses.
And
The Iron Crowd.
the Iron Legion. That's what it was.
That's a dope name.
I don't know that.
Sounds very like that guy from the 1940s, but that's a cool name, isn't it? Iron Legion.
Our next topic. This is breaking news, allegedly,
Okay.
from editor Jez Corden over at Windows Central.
Okay.
Shows a picture of this. It says, "This is the Logitech G Cloud. Logitech has joined forces with Xbox and Nvidia to build the first all-cloud gaming handheld." Details here. Here's the picture of the
Yeah.
handheld.
Yeah.
It looks like a handheld.
I remember we covered this because of those freaking analog sticks. I remember this.
No, you're thinking of the Backbone.
So well, just to be clear, someone saw a console with the stupid analog sticks being offset and was like, "Yo,
Well, here we
everybody
go.
hates this. Let's do it and make it 100% cloud-based." The frick?
How do you feel about a 100% cloud console handheld? How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, with Nvidia and Microsoft, was it Microsoft?
Xbox.
Xbox, yeah. Like, those Azure servers are fantastic and incredible. So that's all cool. I'm not getting over those analog sticks. I really, seriously, you've messed up. Change it. But other than that, I mean, it's going to limit your market because internet infrastructure still sucks.
Yeah.
Even in the UK, even in London, it sucks. Like one of the fifth richest country in the world, and like I think we're the third richest city in the world. So like, internet's still shitty. So.
See, that's the thing. Wireless internet sucks even more than just internet.
Right.
Like, internet hardwired is pretty okay, pretty good and whatnot. But even then, you can have issues because it's not about your internet connection. It's also a connection to the server and what happens there. And there can be interruptions and stuff like that. This is wireless on top of that. So there's an extra layer of sucking on top of that. Now, I've looked at the stats. I've looked at everything. It's you can basically access all kinds of like cloud gaming, xCloud, Game Pass, and stuff like that, because that's why Xbox has gotten involved with this, obviously. But it's 100% cloud-based. It's got no processing power whatsoever to do itself right there. It's basically a direct competitor for the Steam Deck, except the Steam Deck does everything locally because it's just this like powerhouse of like tech inside there.
I think the big difference in that case would be battery life, though. Think about it.
True.
Yeah.
Battery life is probably a big deal as well. The Steam Deck is $400.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
It's not cheap, but you get some decent tech in there. And you get to play all your PC library if you're a PC gamer, you have that and whatnot. How much do you think this is?
Do you know? Because I don't know.
I do know.
It's
an all wireless console. It's a cloud console
because
all the processing done is over there.
That's what I was going to say. Because we don't have to worry about processors and making processors small and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I would suspect that I'm going to be completely wrong and say they can make it relatively affordable. And I would think if it was me, it'd probably come in somewhere in the 250 range, which sucks for Xbox because that's somewhere where the Series S is. But I would spend a lot of money on the screen and batteries.
I was going to say the Series S at least is a console though. It has a piston sensor,
Yeah.
This doesn't have that.
That's right. But for this, and you're targeting a very specific, very motivated niche, I would go I'd probably put it like 249. I'd struggle. I wouldn't be happy with making it more than 299, and I'd spend a bunch of that money on the screen. Am I going to be shocked? What's the actual number?
$350.
That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous, in my opinion. I think you were going too far. Personally, this is just my thoughts, right? I think this should have been somewhere like 150, 199.
I was going to say that.
Because it's a cloud console. There's no processing inside. There's no console inside it. It's just an internet connection and a screen.
That's the thing.
That's all it should be.
I was going to say that. And the reason I justified moving up was I was like, these batteries should last for 2 days.
Yeah.
And this screen should be like Samsung's, like, yo, you want to get laid on the first night? Show her this. Watch a movie on this, right? Like 4K, their best. Samsung makes like just incredible screens. I'd spend the money there. Because somebody that wants this probably either has or doesn't want a console.
Yeah.
So I think you got money there, and somebody that wants this is probably really quite invested in doing it this way. So I reckon we could get to 249 and get good batteries, good tech, like good screen, and maybe 299 for the first year so that we can redesign and move the freaking analog stick where it's supposed to be. But other than that, yeah. I although I'm with you in general, if let's say you and me suddenly were approaching them and we're like, "Yo, we need you to make this thing," we're coming in at 159, maybe 199 max.
The pricing in this is complete bullshit. And what's really funny is that Jez Corden, he's known for being very biased.
But you can get Game Pass on it, man.
Exactly. He's a Windows Central, and he's a host of an Xbox podcast. He's very biased in the situation. People are in the comment section like, this is dead on arrival. 350 is ridiculous. One, you could just get any game on your mobile phone and just buy one of those controller attachments and you're done.
You don't even have to buy them. If you have a 3D printer or your friend does, they'll 3D print it. And they'll put the analog sticks where you want them.
Or even Bluetooth a controller that you have. Yeah. Something like that. You've already got everything you need. Why would I need to pay an additional $350 to go buy that?
Especially if you have a new iPhone, the screens.
Exactly. The best price of a brand new console or something like that. And you can just go $50 more than that and get a full-blown actual console, get a Steam Deck. Get
a Steam Deck.
This is so ridiculously... The idea of it is supposed to be that it's so much cheaper that you'll think, okay, I'll go for this instead of spending the extra $200 on buying a Steam Deck over here. It's so ridiculous. A Steam Deck is essentially a PC in your hand.
Yeah.
Why would you pay $350 and get less of that?
And for a fraction above that, you could, assuming you had the stock, you got a PS5. You're in the realms of a PS5, and you're right next door to an actual gaming unit. We'll have to wait and see how it performs because, again, those Azure servers are amazing, but, again, we're dependent on something I noticed recently. So we're talking about internet being a factor here. Amazon Prime Video, there was a weird gap. Amazon Prime Video doesn't buffer. Now, usually, I would be watching on my PS5. There's almost no bottleneck and it's hardwired in.
Yeah.
But now my PS4 is just for watching stuff. My PS5 is really for gaming, but sometimes watch stuff. The PS4 with its crappy wireless, every now and then we run into the where the video is, and because it hasn't buffered, and if the Wi-Fi is it drops down to like 240p.
Yeah.
And my chicken needs glasses is like, no, it's not me, because it doesn't buffer. But we're so used to YouTube buffering. This is going to be a massive problem because you cannot buffer games in that same way.
Yeah.
At least not that we know of. So that I'll be really interested. I'll be really interested to see the benchmark testing or like game testing that they do with this versus the Steam Deck.
Well, it seems right now it's going out to like influencers and people and stuff like that, but everyone that's getting it is really trying to sell it, and I really feel like these guys are paid.
What, guys with early access being incentivized to?
Well, things I think it's beyond incentivized. I think it's literally they've been told what to say, and they're going to be given a lot of. We're going to look favorably upon you if you do this new endeavor that we're starting.
Yeah,
It's really strange because, like for example, just calling right here, one person, the first person, the one with the most upvotes on here, goes, Dead on Arrival, 350, might as well use your mobile phone or buy a Razer Kishi for both the Wi-Fi and cellular options. And then just like, I explained in the article why I think this is a good alternative to your phone. Remember that it's also a full Android tablet as well.
Yeah, you just described somebody's Samsung.
That's made it worse as well. An Android tablet. There's a reason why they don't sell on the market, because they're not good.
They're not iPads, but also if someone's got like what's the new Galaxy at? Like Galaxy 20 or whatever. Like, so's that.
It's so strange. I don't understand. And people are just mocking him underneath it, and I'm like, if you can't take basic criticism and then go, you know what, that's a really good point. It has got some other benefits to it. Go check this out. No problem. But if you're gonna shamelessly defend it as if like it's
this definitely doesn't feel like a guy that just got it wrong. This feels like a guy that's shilling.
Yes.
And that's the problem, because like, for example, people, we have this sort of perception of being Sony ponies and Sony shills, but every time they do something wrong, we call them on it. And if a product's not worth it, it's not worth it. I can see, for example, we talked about the disk drive I can see that potentially being a good thing. I can also see it being a negative. We'll have to wait and find out. When the PSVR 2, when that leaked a few years ago, we covered it. We straight up said nothing can run this. Yeah. And if it could, you'd have to wear like a backpack full of batteries. This thing's going to be so powerful, like there's no way. And then the PS5 comes out, and okay, well that clears things up. This guy knows what he's looking at. Yeah. This is either a case of he's been paid, or he knows that if he doesn't do this, he's not getting his access. Like it's 100% monetarily.
He relies on this thing of these words being positive.
Right.
All right. That's that topic done. I'm gonna quickly sort of go through a couple of other topics.
Cool.
So. One of them, this is fairly big and a little bit upsetting to me. Former PlayStation US boss Sean Layden has joined Tencent as a strategic advisor. Yeah, a little bit upsetting because he was one of the greats. He was like a creative in PlayStation.
He used to be part of he was the guy who said we want the personalities back, and now he's joined the bad guys.
Yeah, that's really fucking annoying. That is. I mean, I guess the guy's got to make money somehow if that's the way they're offering it, but. Don't sell your soul to fucking get that, man. It's
Also, it's not like he was underpaid.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it. I hope he's okay, and I hope he maybe he can turn them around, guys. How about we don't put people in concentration camps? How about we don't do that?
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't organ harvest from unwilling people because of their religion and race.
He restores the faith in humanity. He does.
Okay.
Anyway, the next one, Twitch decided that they love their creators and they love everything that they do for them. So in return, they're going to be cutting their revenue split by 20%.
No, 30%. It's down from Nikon ad 50. You're right, 20%.
Yeah. So it's only really affecting the people that earn the highest amounts, the people who have the higher revenue split, the 70-30 split. People who've negotiated for that, they're basically doing all away with that. Everyone is going to get the even 50-50 split. Kind of sucks because the reasons that they're citing as well, they're like Amazon server maintenance and upkeep, and also cost of them is the reason why we have to do this bit. You're Amazon. It's your servers. You're running them at cost price.
Right.
This is all profit on top of what you're doing. What?
Yeah, it's dumb. Do you know what they could have done instead? This sucks, but this is awful, and in a weird way, I'm glad that they don't do this, but they could have said, okay, you're a brand new streamer and you get like 2 people watching. You're only allowed to stream 3 days a week. You have a limit so that they're not using up their server stuff to reduce costs. Once you hit these things, you like, instead of, now just the ability to like have your VODs up and stuff like that, and now get revenue shares, when you get like, not partnered, what's on below partner? Affiliate. They say, okay, like you get to like, before affiliate, you can now stream up to 5 days a week, and
I feel like maybe they could just get rid of the sex streamers. I feel like that could be a good way to reduce the load on everything.
But they bring in a lot of money.
It's
they
true.
actually don't want to. They're going to complain about it, and they will ban. This is a really weird thing. They've banned like black and minority creators for like all these little things for like months, and they've lost accounts. Or like what happened with Dr. Disrespect. And there's this one chick that screwed on stream, and she got a 7-day ban. So it's very bizarre what's going on there.
So weird.
I hate to throw. Same with like WB. Like I don't loosely throw around the racist or sexist or whatever.
You have to be very careful when you throw that.
Right, but like if it's warranted, like with Ubisoft or with, like, I'm sorry, but WB, it looks like they do it. The people that are treated worse are all either women or minorities or both. Consistently.
So just one time, it's like, okay, let's calm down. Let's not take out the pitfalls. 2 times, coincidence. 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It's like, okay,
it's a consistent
pattern
picture,
now.
right? It is a pattern, and then it's just so bizarre. So I don't I'm not just throwing it around, but like, something's up at Twitch with their decision making.
It's very strange.
And like again, with this, with like increasing costs. Like I mean, I kind of get it, but all those top guys are bringing you in so much extra. That's why they were given the better split. And
also, you're $1 trillion company. Fucking this Amazon's not exactly scrounging around. It's like, I've got no money left.
Some interesting stuff is happening in these things. So like Netflix has lost a bunch of subscribers and people going to other places. Well, Ninja very recently chose to give up his partnership at Twitch because he's part of the agreement is you can only stream live on Twitch. So he's not even an affiliate. He's just a guy streaming on Twitch, so that he can stream to YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and maybe it's just Facebook, all at the same time. That was a business decision that he made, and has foregone that he can't get subscribers on Twitch. He can't take donations either. He can't get bits or any of that stuff, and he's chosen to do that for business reasons. Now it might be a bad business move, we don't know, but so the biggest name,
he's lost on camera. There's nothing else he can do that's bad.
Right, exactly. And he's still the biggest name. He's not the biggest streamer anymore, but he's like, everybody knows Ninja, and not a lot of people know the current biggest streamers' names. Like your grandmother probably has heard of Ninja, but she won't have heard of like Cypher PK or any of those guys. Like him doing that is very interesting, especially because YouTube's model is very different, and a lot of people are, YouTube's still a very big play. Like now the big guys are losing 20% of their revenue share, which doesn't equate to 20% of their money. It's probably a significantly bigger chunk because these things move exponentially, and they will have business costs. Like most of these guys are not one-man shows. Most of these guys have editing teams and moderating teams. And
so you set yourself up to be a certain position because you're based on this income. When that income changes 20%, that's a massive fucking change. Like, okay, now I need to rethink everything.
Right. Put it this way. The guys that complain, and rightly so, about the increase in game costs, which we think is pretty reasonable because it's a one-time per game cost, and if it makes sense, like it doesn't make sense for FIFA to cost more, but it does make sense for something like God of War or The Last of Us or whatever. Like now, we're talking about the business as a whole is losing 20%. Like now, maybe you can see it if you're complaining about games going from 60 to 70 or 50 to 70, whatever it is. Same thing, but this is a streamer at scale, a
quick thing about the whole $70 games. When it first happened, we was like, this would be decent because it injects like a little bit more money into the industry, and while it does suck to pay a little bit more, it's like, okay, the games that we love, the Last of Us's, the God of Wars, the Uncharted's, the big story player games that require big budgets now will get the budget that they need, and they won't rely on things like microtransactions and go into like multiplayer modes that aren't necessary and stuff like that. And then this whole like crash of the market that's like caused tons amount of inflation have just eaten up that $10, and now we won't get to see the benefit of that. Now it's like we're back to square one. It would have been so great to see that reality, to see like what would happen. It's like, oh, you know what? These are the best games in the world. And why? Because they cost this little bit extra over here.
Yeah, I'm totally with you.
Fucked.
It's such a difficult situation because, as we've said, you know, this stuff is the best form of entertainment, and it weirdly it gets hit the hardest by these but by these market shifts where something like a movie won't, because it has a certain kind of scale in that once it's done, it's one and done, right? Where a game usually, pretty much always, has continued support, you know? So it sucks because, like you said, I was looking forward to seeing what new technology would... Ghost of Tsushima 2, let's say, or Horizon 3 Dawn, or whatever it is. Like, what new tech is that going to have in it? What is this extra budget going to be allocated to? But it's disappeared.
We're never going to get to see that now. The next thing, Hideo Kojima is teasing something. He's got a website.
Even if he came out and said what it was, we'd still be like, he's teasing something. He's teasing... I got all these details. No idea what it means, but...
There's a picture of... who is this woman? So, on the website, it's a woman who... You can't see her face. It's a silhouette. You could just see the edges of the face and the hair and stuff like that. And it says, "Who am I?" And people have figured out who it is. It's Ellie Fanning.
Okay.
She's a 24-year-old actress. Don't know anything beyond that, but that's who she is. And no one knows what the fuck is going on. It's just a picture. It just says... Who am I?
Yeah.
And it's got this funky logo at the bottom, which we don't know what that is as well.
Weird.
And Hideo Kojima has turned up at a bunch of events, standing next to this poster, and not saying anything.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
And we're just like...
Oh, it's freaking... What's his face? It's freaking Kojima. Like...
He gets off on us being so fake.
I think he goes home and just... It's like he's trying to tear it off. Yeah, they're so confused. They're so confused.
God, don't do that.
Yeah, I'm in hot water at the minute. Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't.
I do genuinely think he gets off on it because I think it shows in his storytelling as well.
Yeah,
like people talk about how good like fucking Metal Gear Solid, MGS, that's it, Silent Hill, all that stuff are. They're still acid trips. Yeah. If you actually try and follow it and it's not like your first time, it is not like these are convoluted stories at best in these bizarre worlds. Yeah. Right? Like it's not normal. He's not normal.
No, he's very strange. Anyway, he's posting that. It'd be one thing if he put up the website and then just fucked off, right? But then he goes to like Tokyo Game Show and he puts up the poster and he stands next to it and then doesn't say anything. And it's like, now you're just teasing us. You've got your logo there as well. You've got Kojima Productions underneath that weird new logo, which we don't know what it means. And I don't know. Crazy stuff. And then one final thing. I don't know if you heard, but G4, that terrible website, got a bunch of layoffs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I did.
A bunch of people...
On the day, like, people just turned up to work and they were like, yo, yeah, we don't have the budget for this. Go.
It's crazy as well, because apparently they had like a 400-man team. And I'm like...
What?
What was you doing with 400 people?
This is...
The one thing I heard was that you guys were playing games and had a podcast.
Yeah. Were they based in LA? This is like maybe. LA inflation, I think, where they're like, well, we need a sound guy. Well, the sound guy needs an assistant. And, you know what I mean? Like, what? Let's say you and me were putting on that sort of thing. I think, well, we'd probably try and do it ourselves.
Yeah.
But let's say like 3 to 5 people would be the team outside of hosts.
Yeah.
And I'd say that might be excessive.
Yeah, these guys 400. Anyway, they laid off. They've laid off a bunch of people. I think it's something like they dropped it down to like half or something like that. But A couple of hosts also lost their thing, and then the one person that did survive, the one person that was vocal about it, was that one, the Froskin.
Oh, is this the one who speaks about things that aren't her passion and she's not an expert? That one,
exactly. The one that was saying like Hogwarts Legacy is exclusive to Xbox and that's coming. And have they bought BioWare yet? And PlayStation's going to have a terrible 2022. It's going to be awful for them. It's going to be a bloodbath.
That's right. There's nothing to play on PlayStation, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, she survived, and not only did she survive, she flaunted the fact that she survived, which is
that's so
hella
uncouth,
distasteful.
isn't it? Yeah.
A bunch of your colleagues just got laid off, and you're like, "I survived, bitches!" And like,
yeah, screw you guys, I still got a job. The thing that bugs me about these companies is, you and me. Let's say we're running like a successful company. We don't just start hiring.
Yeah,
we are gonna not agonize, but really think about like, why are we bringing these people on? What do we need them to do? And like, do we need it?
yeah.
So that, like, for me, this is where the layoffs thing comes, where it's like, either you should not have had these jobs, or you're so drastically damaged that you are having to say, this part of our business actually didn't really ever bring us any money. It maybe broke even, and instead of that, we should just focus on like our high yield stuff. And either of those two decisions is probably not great, because I feel like if you're running a business, you're hiring people because they add value to your business. So ideally, if an employee costs you 1, they make the business 2, which means the business profits 1 off of the employee. Why else would you do it? So on that aspect, why is the business hiring 400 people when apparently they only need 200? Exactly. And 2, why are they keeping people that would act like that?
Yeah. Well, a week after that, she got fired.
Well, good. Because gaming isn't her passion or her expertise.
It's so funny, and the internet did not let her live it down.
Good.
It was so great to watch it, and I love it because she was just like she did a night.
Why are you guys being so mean to me?
She was proper like, I'm heading out. The person I'm gonna miss the most is Gex in the video department or whatever, something like that, and everyone's just like,
it's been a great 4 years, guys.
That's what you get, bitch.
Like, people are gonna like, if you do stuff, if you like revel in other people's suffering, don't be surprised when they come after you, man.
Exactly. It was totally her fault. She deserved everything she got. She didn't deserve to be there. I suspected when she didn't get laid off. When she didn't get laid off with the rest of the people, I suspected that she played the same card that she played on us when we disagreed with her comments. Yeah. Nothing to do with anything she is, just her comment. That was all we disagreed with. She turned it around and made it about how she's a woman in video games.
Yeah. And are you really going to fire?
That's what I suspected. I thought she was like, I made a statement
are you really...
on live video, and look what happened. Do you want me to do the same thing to you?
Are you really going to fire a woman with my following in this male-dominated blah, 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 which, again, like, anyone reasonable, like all of us here, we all know it's got nothing to do with anything. You know, except obviously she's not the main character of a video game. In that case, it would never sell.
Exactly.
We know this. No, thank you, Ubisoft. Like, ridiculous. But, yeah, because I think someone would, in a meeting, go, oh, shit, she's got a point.
Yeah.
You know?
I was worried about that, and it turns out that it's they weren't going to take her shit, and they just.
Well, also, like, imagine you buy it and you're like, shit, okay, she's off the cut list. You fire the people that you need to fire, and this is how she responds to, one, the fact that she had to basically bully the company to make it even, like, you're in dire straits, I'll make it even worse for you if you fire me, when all these other presumably like decent people, because I don't have a problem with the people, you know, the likelihood is the company overhired, not that these people weren't working. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like a bunch of decent people most likely got laid off, and she like revels in it. Like,
that's pretty fucking
that's just not how you do it, man.
That's all the topics that we got to talk about today. I was going to quickly wrap up by reading some more of these comments here.
Yeah, there's a few Discord comments that I did want to get to.
BS Bro wrote in and he said, on a side note, I'm going to do a little rant again. For some reason, Xbox isn't selling anything in our country. Like we have our own Microsoft store, but there's no Xbox consoles there. That's pretty shitty. I'm sure they have plenty of them left over.
Well, yeah, they've got the stock, but why would they fill the shelves with something nobody wants?
Exactly. Only way you can buy them is through scalpers or through this one store called Big Bang that sells them for 650 euros, which is like fuck off.
Don't get one then, yeah.
That's more than 100 more than Sony charges for the PlayStation 5, and 150 more than Xbox is supposed to be charging in the in this country. I can't imagine they'll do. I can't imagine what they'll do when we get the PlayStation 5 available in this country. And isn't this shit illegal? This is the thing. This stuff probably should be more monitored and controlled, but the thing is that it's based on your government and how involved they are with this stuff.
This is really tough because ultimately a business gets to set its prices. Like if you start monitoring this, then are you going to say that some restaurants can't charge what they charge? And no, some restaurants aren't worth the money. They're overpriced. Yeah. Some restaurants are worth the money for whatever reasons. So like,
it's a tough line to walk. There is benefits to having governments get involved in this sort of stuff, but most of the time they're incompetent, so they're going to ruin stuff anyway. Well, they're
governments, aren't they?
Exactly. In this situation, it might have been nice, because high street stores should adhere to a certain price. Sony should get to them. Maybe that's why PlayStation don't ship anything over... Sorry, Xbox don't ship anything over there, because they know that the next store's going to buy them and hike up the price to an extra $200, and they don't want to fuel the flames of that.
Well, that's tough as well.
But then they should make it available some other way to you.
Like, I gave the example of a restaurant, but that's like sort of more obvious as to why the prices might change. But like, let's say you're a company and you purchase a thing, and then supply and demand changes. Why shouldn't you get to... Like, let me change that around. Because I think people see like faceless companies. If you're a person who's running your own business, you're the one man show, right? Like I did tutoring, you've done plumbing or do plumbing. Like if the market changes and your skills become in more demand, why shouldn't you put your prices up? Because more people want you.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, if they come down, like if everybody else is doing tutoring for £20 an hour, I can't charge £40 an hour anymore. Because either I'm going to have less customers. I've got to find the one sucker that's going to pay double the market rate, or I have to bring my prices down. So why should you be why should the government or any law stop you from raising your prices to live in the market that you live in? You know?
Yeah.
So this one's a really difficult one. All I would say is frick those guys, get a PS5.
Come live in the UK where everything's cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no easy fix, is the point. Ultimately, just get a PS5 and sink yourself into gaming, because it's the only way you're going to enjoy life. Exactly. Is not living it. From life. Yeah.
I did want to bring this up, and it ties into the comment from Sean, Outer Worlds, Big Goat. Big Goat. I don't know what it stands for, but big goat. He says, PlayStation VR 2. Sony dropped a trailer for the PlayStation VR 2, and it has got me hyped, especially for RE8. Oh, you saucy bugger. We know why. When do you think the headset will... When do you guys think the headset will be released, and for what price? I'm thinking around March 2023, and it's going to cost around £400. There's no way Sony would charge more than the PS5 itself, and they can't charge around the same price as the console because they need to buy a PS5 to use it. He says, PS Play Outer Wilds is the best indie game of all time. Technically indie game, yeah. Technically. It's free.
The Witcher 3 was technically an indie game.
Exactly. Yeah. It's free on PS Plus Extra. Oh, that's pretty cool. They just released the PS5 upgrade for free, so there's literally no excuse.
We'll have to get it in the old library at least.
Exactly. Okay, so I want to quickly talk about the trailer. I sent it to you over there, the Twitter post on Discord DM. VR is notoriously hard to market, because it's one of those things where until you try it, you don't really see the benefit of it.
We've said this before. It's a niche group, and trying to get anyone into the group's very difficult. In a niche market, on a niche console, like everything's niche. It gets smaller. Yeah. So
and then you have to, and these things aren't cheap. They're not cheap. So like, say if it is £400, £400. You have to ask someone to fork up £400 on top of the console they already buy by $500. That's not easy to ask someone. Now, that's the big thing. However, this trailer, oh my god, it showed me things that I didn't even realize as well in this. So they've got the eye tracking to do the foveated rendering thing, which, for those of you guys that don't know, foveated rendering is that it renders in high resolution the thing that you're looking at because it knows where you're looking, and then everything else around it is a little bit less resolution to reduce the requirements of power and stuff like that. They've not just done it for rendering. They've also done it for selecting things and NPC interaction. So when you look at an NPC, the NPC will look at you and also interact with you because you're looking at them. In Firewall Ultra, which is a multiplayer shooter game, you can change what gun you're using. You press a button on your controller, and depending on what thing you look at, it will select that gun for you.
Yep.
And I was like, that's fucking great. This is some really cool tech.
It's using your eyes. So, like, you know those, like you said, those wheels that come up?
Yeah.
It's what you're looking at.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's like, oh, that thing. Oh, yeah, that thing over there. I'll take that right there. I was like mind blown by this stuff. I was like, this is really, really good advertising.
In a weird way, that bridges the gap between PC and console, because one of the things with PC games is for like managing multiple items and bag space and stuff, it's just so much more convenient to use a mouse and keyboard. But now you don't necessarily have to.
Exactly. This is really cool. I very much liked it. As for release date and price, I do think like early next year. So I'd say February rather than March, but that's just me.
1 month's difference, that doesn't count.
Bro,
you dick.
February, completely different to March. Dude, March is a bitch. All right.
Bitch month.
Price.
I think he's pretty close. I actually think it's a bit low. I wouldn't be shocked to see 4.9.
I think previously I was saying
469.
something like 400 as well.
Yeah.
But I do think with how expensive tech is, the fucking new GPUs from Nvidia came out, $1,600.
Yeah.
PlayStation just raised their price on the console, so they're not willing to.
I don't know why you're
eat massive
complaining.
losses from
Isla's
it.
got 2 perfectly good kidneys. You know?
Oh my god, my baby. Oh my god. Everything's getting so much more expensive. The price of groceries, petrol, everything is more expensive. I can't imagine it's still going to be 400. I hate to say this, but 499.
Yeah, the price is definitely starting with a 4. Although I got to say, so we're sort of all somewhat in agreement on the price. He thinks 399. I think definitely closer to 499 than not.
I'm so glad they kept the cable though, because if they didn't keep the cable, this thing would have been £700.
Yeah, agreed.
To
Agreed.
put wireless technology in it.
Why is
batteries
it
and
wireless?
stuff.
Shut up, because you won't buy it. That's why. I think it depends on when the consoles are coming out. I suspect that they're going really close or really far away. I don't know which, because they'll have the date on it, but they'll either say, you know, with the new console, why not get a PSVR with it, or they'll wait for people to get the consoles and then go, hey, for your console is this thing. I don't know what that is. So I would guess it's going to either be, you know, right around that time or 9 to 15 months. So almost a year to a bit over a year, somewhere around that, from the new console coming out. That's my guess.
Cool. All right, that's that right there.
But yes, expensive.
Expensive. I'm in on
But the other thing is, it's not just the cool headset, because the headset is cool. The foveated rendering, if you still haven't got it, it's sort of like how your eyes work, where the thing you're looking at is what's in focus and everything else is out of focus. That's basically the way to think of it, but it's the tech doing it for you. But the fact that it is like is it 1080? No, it's a 4K screen.
4K screen, yeah. OLED, apparently it's so crisp. All the reviews of people getting hands-on were just glowing.
It's not just the headset. It's the haptic hand trollers, whatever you want to call them.
The controllers, it's got finger sensing before you even touch it, so like proximity
And they're
sensing.
haptic.
So you can do all kinds of things.
That's going to be
got
cool.
haptic feeling in there. In the headset, it's got haptic feelings as well. It's
So like, basically what we're saying is,
very high tech.
and it's going to need to come with a bag, because if I play any racing games, although, like haptic for changing gears.
Yeah.
Click.
All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I do think there was a couple more comments
Oh, was
I just want to go through on the Discord. Where are they? Hold on 1 second.
Are they people we care about though?
No, well, they're on
Oh,
our
okay,
Discord,
yeah,
so
that's
no,
true.
of course not.
Solid point. Right
1 second. We read this about EA's game, so no, we read that. Hold on, there's one thing definitely from Alpha that I didn't read.
I will say Corbin was very upset with me today. He found out. He just found out that we haven't played Plague Tale Innocence, and he was like, "Eddie, What?
No, we haven't finished
Ah, that's
A
true.
Plague Tale Innocence, which is totally different.
And I was like, don't worry, I've still got like, what is it, like a month until the next one comes out?
I did finish Stray, at least.
At least.
So like,
So you're ready for Plague Tale Requiem?
right? After my girl spends 400 hours finishing The Last of Us and I play Cyberpunk. And then watches Edge Runners and then play Cyberpunk. But we'll totally do. The thing is, I really enjoy the game. It's a great game.
God of War games, I'm going to get in there.
Oh, yeah.
God of War, obviously preparation.
But in fairness, remember this, Hugo's really annoying.
Ah, it's true. Hugo, monsieur.
I hate it so much.
Shut up, bruv. Your name's Sheps.
Shut up. Drive-bys.
That was such a fucking dirty one,
Mate.
bruv.
Mate, I mean, look, fair enough, but it's true, but you don't come out and say it. Hold on. Okay, I found the comment. Let's see. He says, coming off Outer Worlds, played... Oh, yeah, here's one thing. This is what I want to talk about.
Go on.
He said, Alpha said, he played the first level of Super Pets, and then I installed the game.
Is it because they dissed my boy Superman? What happened? Did you not say?
Just couldn't get into it. Yeah, apparently it's just shit.
Oh no! Well, maybe they should consider making a Superman game then.
Mate, if people wouldn't even play as a dog, they're not going to play as a guy.
Right.
Hard Space Shipbreaker, that Zero Gamer mentioned, is really awesome. Enjoying that a lot.
I just read. This is in our Juice posted this in our Discord server. It looks like an article by PC Games N. The title is "PUBG is too violent and must be banned," says Taliban. It's like, oh no.
That's freaking funny. That's funny. Always like, that's pretty funny. But the worst thing is, like these days, so many stupid titles come out. You know, that you're like, you just never know, do you?
Was there anything else?
I'm just going to finish off this stuff. He says, immortality, not immorality, remains my game of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of people saying it will come down to Elden Ring versus immortality. I can read.
And God of War Ragnarok.
But I think the two should be God of War Ragnarok versus immortality. He thinks immortality over Elden Ring.
Damn.
Did you play Elden Ring, though? I mean, I'm with you, Elden Ring, shit game.
Shit game. Can we beat it in 6 minutes? What was it?
Yeah. 6 minutes. It's a 6 minute game. Like some people, they're like, oh, I got 20 hours on it. Like, who needs to play a game 700 times? You could have watched One Piece.
Exactly.
Basically. Unfortunately, I get the feeling people won't vote as much for this masterpiece, partly because it's an indie. One of those games you wouldn't expect unless you played it. I can see there's a mics directly on my way home. The big news is that, wait, hold on. One of these games you wouldn't expect. It's been incredibly well received. The big news is that it's coming to Netflix, which is wild. My game of the year so far is coming to Netflix. The Netflix gaming thing or as a show? I'm confused. How's Immortality coming to Netflix? Netflix is doing a gaming thing though, aren't they?
They were, yeah. They were going to be starting off with small stuff like mobile games and stuff like that.
I mean, it's an indie title, so maybe it's a relatively easy get for them.
Maybe.
One thing I'll say is, frick Netflix. Like we're about to cancel it because just because like we let my brother use our account, and it's not like we have 2 accounts each. And the other day we went to watch something. It was like, oh, you can't watch it. Too many accounts watching. So basically, it's like he can use it, but only if we're not using it. So why did we bother giving him a different account?
I know that they were going to roll out like a...
It's £4 extra a month to let him use it. Like, no, we just won't do it.
Fuck you, Netflix.
Yeah, go away.
All right, bro. That's all we've got time for today.
Yep.
Let's get this episode done and get ready for EGX tomorrow. It's going to be a hell of a preparation I've got to do for that. Set the camera up and shit and whatnot. Do a vlog like last time.
Yeah.
Quite fun.
Always going to forget something though, aren't we? I got to remember what stuff I need to bring. Always something.
That's like condoms.
That's right.
Bag of MDMA.
That's it. Yeah, the essentials.
These guys seem to think I'm joking in the Discord
about
server.
the MDMA.
Yeah. We're partying, right?
Right. How else are we gonna get through a day at EGX?
That many people.
Although actually
I need to see angels. Everywhere. Look,
Oh
fucking
my God.
ages.
What's the plan? So day one, we're gonna go and get food at the end.
Yeah, we're gonna go to EGX early, get some gaming done, hang out, food afterwards at Nando's. It's gonna be a nice little time. Take some pictures, we'll post it on Discord and stuff for you guys to see.
Yeah, boy.
What you're missing and how much losers you are. And then the next day, start a little bit later, around about 11 o'clock. Head into the show, do some more gaming, see whatever we missed. Then we're gonna head out to a retro bar. We're gonna head out to another gaming bar afterwards with more modern consoles. Get some food there as well. Party the night away. Get liver drunk. Mix it with the MDMA. Get fucking dead.
Of course, yeah. And, all the droogs. Everybody knows we're pro droogs.
Pro droogs. And then
don't do school kids. Stay in droogs.
And then we'll see where the night takes us. Hopefully to hell. There you go. We're not going to heaven. Come on.
I mean, that's obviously foregone. Isn't it? But just shut up and watch Edge Runners, man. Because everybody's seen it. They're going to want to know what you think.
It's a good point. I'm going to get there.
You might as well just binge it. It's 10 episodes, so we're talking.
I think I could do that in a night.
That's 3 hours. It's like 3 Smallville episodes. And actually, I personally got to say, I thought the intro was super annoying, so that gets skipped. So it's really, you are somewhere in the 17-minute.
I like how you think the intro of an anime is boring, is annoying.
Most are good. That's why this was shocking. Yeah.
Sure. All right, bro. Let's kick it out. Let's get out of here, man. See you later, boys.